Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Everybody had a good week, right? Except for
I think
Wells.
everybody had a good week.
We're doing that right now.
Oh,
You said, hey, you said right off the bat you wanted
Yeah,
to start.
I
You
just
want to
want to get it out the
chest,
way.
so
all right,
just go ahead and vent.
all right.
We're just gonna start off with just overall. It was just offensively was a terrible game.
13 net passing yards in
Just
the
it
first
was
half.
ultimately not what I expected offensively. I wasn't expecting it to be a blowout, but I wasn't expecting it to be one that just irrelevant and just non-existent. And for the fact that it took 4 quarters for us to score a touchdown is just it's fucking bananas to me. And I that offensive line is trash. It needs to get thrown away.
Yeah.
I'm like, our
Well-
OC is an idiot.
Yeah.
That we can agree on, I believe.
Coach Eberflus is a dumbass.
And probably gone by the end of the season.
I'm like, I get
Yeah.
that he's got the top defense, and that's literally saving his job at this point. But it's on you to hire the coordinators to put the plays that's going to be beneficial for the players on the field, and you're not doing that. At this point, we're in the same cycle every single time. We're about to lose our head coach that didn't draft Caleb Williams. We're going to get another coach that didn't draft Caleb Williams. We're going to give him to his third year in his rookie contract all over again, decide if we're going to keep him or not, and draft another quarterback all over again and repeat the same stupid-ass cycle over and over again.
So Keenan Allen was a great pickup. Okay, so we're on the same. I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
I'm not going to lie. I was on the fence. I wasn't totally
Keenan Allen's a great player. He's
right.
He's
I
a
just
great
didn't
person.
see the need for the trade. What was the purpose? Especially if we drafted Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
I understand the veteran presence. I get that. But for the price tag and then being injured for 3 out of the 7 games, you haven't done nothing but had one game. And that was against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which ultimately was one of the worst defense in the league this year. So that's not really saying anything.
Defense. Yeah, the worst pass defense. You know who's got the second worst pass defense? You know who's got the second worst pass defense, by the way? Just a huge shout out. The Detroit Lions. Anyways, keep going.
And then the thing that makes me upset, there's 3 different versions of the Bears that could be.
31st in the league.
The first version, we could easily be 7-0 right now. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
2 out of the 4 wins that we have were defensive wins.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. The other side of that coin, we could easily be 1, completely winless, and 2, 2-5 at best.
I was gonna say 2-5. Completely winless is such.
I'm just saying, but the possibility's there. Because if you think about it, Indianapolis is the only team. The only team that scored over 21 points. Everything else has been 19 points or less. So it's not like the defense is not showing up. Granted, last week,
arguably it's one of the most that's been consistent for the Bears.
Empty space in the brain plays at the end of the game that cost us the game. Outside of that, defensively, they have been able to keep top quarterbacks and keep their offenses down.
No,
they're not able to score on a free willy. But it's just our offense is not matching the enthusiasm,
the intensity
that the defense is putting out on the field. And as a defensive player, I know they have to be frustrated. They're putting in all this work on the field, and for shit.
I'm on the firm side of the ball that states when you manage 13 net passing yards in the first half, you don't deserve to win a fucking football game.
No.
And I don't care. That's awesome that you were able to put one effing drive together at the end of the game. And then put all of that faith on a defense that for 60 minutes gave the offense multiple opportunities to produce anything more than one effing drive, and for it to come down to literally a boneheaded play by a young player that overhyped and overreacted, bumped the one guy that was going to make the play out, bumped the ball over him. I get that. Terrible
and that stupid
fucking
little
look.
trick play. This is
Going
my
to
thing.
follow him.
The trick play trying to somebody said, oh, they're trying to recreate the fridge Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, so they
that
were
was
passing
dumb
it.
as hell. The backup center.
They
You
handed it
got
off to the
one
center.
DeAndre Swift that was hot this game.
Yeah.
You have Roshan Johnson, which is your third down and goal line back to begin with.
Is Roshan Johnson a goal line back?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
I guess I just
When I
don't see
saw
the
that, you know,
Bears on the
Charles-
goal line enough
Charles,
to.
You know when I saw that, you know what it
he's
instantly
bigger,
gave me
okay?
flashbacks for?
Okay.
Seattle in the Super Bowl, passing it on the 1 yard line on the goal and not giving it to Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
You literally are handing it off to a backup center to do what?
That
So
doesn't
what
make
if-
any sense. But you can't say just because you're on the 1 yard line, you should have handed it off, because a lot of times it does not work.
But
So
if
what
you're
if
going to
people
hand it
stuff
off,
you?
why are you handing it off to an offensive lineman?
That part about it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Not just handing it off to an offensive lineman. He put it in his chest. He didn't put it in his
Okay.
gut.
There's
That's
a handful
true. It
of
was a terrible handoff. So.
A handful of scenarios, maybe. Okay, so for one, we all agree the Bears' offensive line is terrible.
Yeah.
So
yes.
in a goal line situation, you can't expect them to give DeAndre Swift or Roshan Johnson
run.
space. You can't expect that. So then the question I ask is, why not put the ball in Caleb Williams' hands? He's pretty much shown you all game why you should not have put the ball in his hands in that moment. I'm not upset with that decision. Caleb had numerous opportunities to make plays and instead made boneheaded mistakes. Now, the play call itself, I agree wholeheartedly. I think for one, you would hope for more of a like triple option run in this scenario out of the shotgun, where you have Swift, and then you've got Roshan Johnson, right? So you've got Roshan on one side, you got Swift on the other. The ball is snapped. You fake the ball to Swift. If that
you could draw up at that moment.
that's what I'm saying. I really think, because you got Caleb Williams' athleticism. His first touchdown this year was a rushing touchdown. It makes more sense to get him out in open space with a field vision. I don't know. But again, too, here's the kicker. It is just handing the fucking ball off, and he fucked that up. So I'm not trying. I understand
100%,
indubitably
Charles.
why the coach is in the position he's in, bro. We're sitting here talking. This dude, and it's not, and it's hard sometimes. It's a Packer fan. You should have heard me talk about our Packers. Listen, fucking ugly wins. You're telling me right now, as I said that last week. Oh my God! But when it comes down to it, it's just how the fucking cookie crumbles. You picked up Keenan Allen while the whole world was picking up offensive linemen, which kind of blew my mind, right? Like you had Washington.
We brought this up yesterday, and Charles wanted to talk about this.
At what point did Washington become the better front office in the National Football League? Like
Magic Johnson took over? I don't know.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. How the is that supposed? And then you're like, oh, business, and it's an entertainment league. And I guess if you're doing well here with this skeleton, you're probably going to do well here. But the Commanders went out and went, yo, we got a dude, and we got to protect this dude. Like we did not protect.
I wholeheartedly still think the way that him having these rib issues, it's still a problem. They need to chill out because they're on that cusp of an RG3 moment.
Mm-hmm. We brought this up. We said that the only reason he would have went out there is that they did not want to lose this football game, and without him there, they probably would have lost that football game.
I don't see that.
I still think that that defense was too much for us.
I think Marcus Mariota would have done just fine.
And I think it would have been the same outcome, to be honest.
Because it's not like Washington put up 30 points with a broken Jaden Daniels. Yeah,
but he still threw for over 300 yards on it. So it's not like he was too much hurt. You know what I'm saying? So Mariota could have easily put up 200, 250 yards possibly. Yeah. And it could have probably still been the same outcome. But it's a simple fact that
Mariota would have been more mobile. And the fact that he was able to play, hell, let Mariota be as mobile as he wants. He gets hurt, you throw Jaden back in there.
Your emergency is still fine.
Yeah.
And it's the simple fact
you don't need a safety net. You're 4 feet off the fucking ground.
Jaden Daniels literally was throwing the ball however he wanted. He was running around however he wanted. Yeah. And the fact that we were outside of that Hail Mary, we literally kept them to 12 points. 4 field goals, as many times as they were in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, they punted in that game as many times as they punted all season.
So
That's a hell of a
not
stat.
that Caleb wasn't set up to win this game. He
No.
could have easily.
Now, if Caleb Williams had many years under his belt, I think that he could be very successful with this team. But when
Here's
you
my
don't
question
have
to
when
you
you
for
don't
that,
have
though.
when you don't have
the Bears
time
going
to
to be patient enough to allow him to get better?
I don't know.
Because most teams like the Bears that are in this situation when they have a young quarterback and they're not progressing the way that the team expects them, they give up on them hella fast, and very quickly they move on.
Well,
It happens all the time.
There's still because we still have to get to the point where we find somebody who really loves Caleb, and I'm here for Caleb, and I'm here to make Caleb better, and I'm going to be the thing that changes Caleb. We still need that guy, right? Like I believe Matt Nagy was that guy for Trubisky, and then Eberflus was supposed to be that guy for Fields.
It didn't work.
Okay, so like that, we still have to hit that cycle. So there's a lot of time. I think.
But
there's
again,
a lot
that goes back to how much patience is that front offense and that ownership in Chicago is going to give Poles to find the head coach and OC to give him that confidence for Caleb. That's the question.
It's not even going to come down to that. It's going to come down to the fact that is there going to be a player connection that's going to make him a better player? Because right now you're getting what he is. If he can't make the players around him better, like an Aaron Rodgers or even Jordan Love or Jalen Hurts, they get these guys, but they also make them better. Do you see that from him? If they keep putting weapons around him, is it the offensive coordinator or is it his skill set?
I don't think his skill set is that bad to the point where he makes a team bad. I don't know if he makes the players around him better because, again, we have never been an offensive. We've never been an offensive team to begin with. Since I've been in existence.
No, this is the first 300-yard game a Bears player.
I was going to say you don't throw for 300 yards in the NFL and not be like good, right? But
multiple times.
But being good and great is a massive gap, and being great and epic is a even bigger gap, right?
How many elite quarterbacks are in the NFL right now? Consider elite quarterbacks.
Right, 5.
This may be a handful.
Maybe a handful.
Because there's a lot of good quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's tier 2s. There's a lot of tier 2s and a few tier 1s.
Tier 1. It's a handful.
Yeah, there's a few tier 1. So, arguably, the absolute worst thing for Chicago is the fact that Washington is doing what they're doing. That is fast forwarding Ryan Poles' clock, because everything Washington's doing, they're doing with the Bears scraps. And what I mean by that,
and they're doing it with less.
Yeah, and basically what I mean by that is the Bears have had the pick of the litter and have decided on this instead of that, when we really don't have an explanation for any of it. And that, I believe, ultimately is what's going to lead to the downfall of Ryan Poles.
Washington,
unless the Bears start winning, but the NFC North is such a fucking gauntlet. Like,
and I'm gonna say these two things, and I feel like I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well, we were doing a solid 15 to the next game, but
Washington is literally 6-2.
Yeah.
Majority of this panel did not even think they were going to be this good. They knew that
all
nobody,
of us, no matter how we put it.
No.
Yeah.
I had them making the playoffs. However, I also stated before the draft, way before the draft, my interest was to draft Daniels over Caleb, because we drafted hype over talent, I feel like. And,
Jayden
it's
does
not
have
saying that Caleb is
gene.
not going to be a good quarterback in the NFL, but right now it's back to that same old question all over again. Did we draft the wrong quarterback yet again?
I think it might be too early for that.
I'm just saying.
No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
For most logical Bear fans, that thought is starting to creep up in the brain.
Here's the kicker. For us, we say, "Oh, it's too early for that," but we're not the ones walking down a street that looks exactly like streets we've been walking down for the last 10 years. So I feel like it's hard to argue with PR in this moment because he's living a nightmare for the last decade.
It's been on repeat.
He knows what it looks like at the beginning, the middle, and the end. So
it's Nightmare on Paul Street.
yeah,
Literally,
it's
you can make a
supposed
movie of this.
if it looked like anything else, we're probably on the right path, but it's looking the same, and that's what he's getting at right now.
And it's not discrediting Caleb and his potential of what he can be.
Oh, no,
but again,
No, because Justin Fields is doing great in Pittsburgh.
and he looks happy over there.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then people are saying why goes back to the question that I posted 2 weeks ago when they were playing the Jets. Should Fields come in? And clearly last night's game was a little slow and wonky at first, but Russell still got it done. But to see Justin Fields sitting next to Russell Wilson and be able to say, I get to learn behind this guy.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what Justin becomes, man. It bums me out that he went to Ohio State. I really like the dude.
Is
really
by
like
far,
the dude.
Mike Tomlin is going to go one if outside of what's his name?
Him and CJ
the one that he
Stroud,
replaced. What's his name? Coughlin? Not Coughlin.
Yeah.
Who did he replace?
Who? Where? What?
Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin. Oh, Jesus. Bro, they've had three quarterbacks or three coaches.
He's had coaches in 50 years.
Parcells.
Tomlin replaced Coward.
Yeah.
I'm
like, Tomlin could easily go down as he could surpass him as the Steelers' greatest coach.
He's got 22 straight
he's been
Monday
consistent.
Night
I don't
Football
know about
wins.
great.
Mike Tomlin is doing something that listen, his demeanor, you can't even be mad at this guy. There's no way that you can hate this man.
If my mom had a choice, he'd be my
he's that guy that you look up. What's the guy, that college football coach, Charles? He's the guy. If you look him up in the dictionary, you just look me up. I'm a winner.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
I'm like, listen, he hasn't had a losing season as an NFL head coach.
No.
Regardless how you want to look at it, whether it's
he was
9
close
and 8,
that 1 year, but I still think they won 10
9
games.
9 and 8 is still a winning season. It's above 500.
9 games.
But and you're constantly just nobody can. Who hates this guy?
Listen, it's really easy when Green Bay passes on T.J. Watt, who single-handedly won you basically
season after season defensively.
Season after season, Jesus Christ.
Talk about a nightmare for me. That's your nightmare.
Kevin, motherfucking King.
Is passing out on T.J. Watt your nightmare?
Oh man, yeah. Oh, I've got a couple.
Not mine. Not mine. Might be Charles.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them. Yeah, a couple of them. Everyone and their brother knew. See, that's the thing Green Bay does, though, right? Chicago draft, and thing is, I can have nightmares about it, but I can never be mad. Green Bay never does hype. Yeah, Green Bay never does hype. Green Bay's like, yo, this is what our board says. I don't fucking know who you are.
And you draft
we found that out last year, right?
Draft for the need and not the popularity. For once.
Yeah.
Listen to what you're. Stop listening to Mel Cowper. Stop listening to Tom McShay. Because
listen. Caleb Williams was one of the top draft rate picks of all time. He was coming out of the draft as the number one pick. He wasn't going to be anything else.
It's like listening to Dan Orlovsky. Yeah, I did not step out of the back of the end zone.
I just gave myself a headache. How's that two fuck talk like that all the time?
Yeah, listening to Dan Orlovsky talk about football is like.
Mike's got one too. He's got one that we can't listen to either.
Was that Mr. Wright?
Oh yes, Nick
Wright's dumbass.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say I had to get you on that one because you had a comment the other day. You're like, I hate this guy, and I was like, everybody hates him.
He is just ignorantly stupid.
See, this is what kills me about Nick Wright.
Straight trash.
When he was on that show with Chris Carter, his hair was all lined up. He had the sharp black dude goatee, like his beard was all penciled thin and shit. And now now he's with another white dude, and he's got Coach Mangini up there. He's all long hair surfer dude. Like, shut the fuck up. One, you're an analyst.
He's a sponge.
You're an analyst.
he thinks he's like a ladies' man,
He's
or
real
he's like
suave,
he's,
man.
yeah, real suave. You might as well go out there with Perkins, man, as they're calling NBA games. I don't get the guy at all. Like isn't he the guy that came out and said the
Go
Bears are going to win
suave.
the Super Bowl, Charles?
What's that?
That
Isn't
is
he the guy that
exactly
came out and said
what he
he
said.
came out and won the Bears are his favorite to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That's the kind of like boo that comes out of this guy's mouth.
Well,
Here's
And he does it for shock.
Yeah.
It's for shock. That's all it is.
It's more stupid.
I
And
hate
it-
I
it is
hate the game.
stupid, but
I hate the
it's
game.
for
I hate
clicks,
I hate
you
the
know?
marketing game because
You should know this, Paul.
I
Big
just
troll.
I
He's a
could
troll.
never
He's a big troll.
you don't go far on facts, but you get a super extended reach on a wildly ridiculous take. And I hate to say it, but as soon as I find that fine line, saying the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl in the preseason, as much as we want to shake our head on it, honestly, if you just put the shit on fucking paper, it's not an out of this universe conversation. At the time it wasn't, right? Like for all of us in the NFC North, maybe. But I think that had more to do with the NFC North. Listen, the ability to win a Super Bowl is done one of two ways.
Right.
An elite defense with a rookie on a rookie contract or a fucking goat at quarterback. Right? And the Bears on paper were everything
outside
on
of one part,
what part?
the offensive line.
It didn't matter.
It matters to me.
Why? Yeah, I get that. But what I'm saying,
I'm not about to jump on that Super Bowl bandwagon.
No,
Like I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But if you're not a Bears fan, bro, that's like I said, it's a take that's going to get clicks. I get it. It's stupid, but
It's stupid, but that is
I mean, but it's not going to
wrong. You're not wrong.
It's not going to come back and bite you, right? Like it's not like a Dan Orlovsky take.
Oh god.
Nick, that fuck dude has many of them. Granted, many, absolutely ridiculous.
You can make a playlist off of
I
that
am
shit.
I am on literally I'm throwing coal in Mike's train on this one. I'm fucking the thing will never burn, right? I am on Mike's side for this one. I fuck that moment. I
this
get it.
is something right here that I heard this on a different podcast. It said if you want to be the king of idiots, you're doing a very good job. You know, if that's your thing, if you want to go out there and do the shock jock therapy, do whatever, just make this obscene, just absolutely nonsense. And I can attest to this because I've said some pretty stupid shit on this show.
Do they pay?
It obviously doesn't pay well enough because it hasn't.
Not yet.
No.
We're not making any money off of this.
We ain't the king of idiots.
mouth.
We should reach out to one of them. Find out.
We could. I mean, I would
Don't
have
lead
him
off
on
with
here,
King
but
of Idiots because I don't know how far that's gonna go.
Here's the thing: if we have the king of idiots, Nick Wright, on here, I do not believe that he would come on here and allow us to ask him any questions that he's not going to be able to go through and filter through. No way.
Oh, there's many people like that, and that's all right.
That's fine, but
Yeah, I'm really good at what I do.
that's exactly what he's going to
time
say.
out, time out. Unmute yourself. Listen. I love you, and I'll time out that shit 100% of the time.
I want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
Something about Nick.
I will say this, letting us just ask whatever questions. Fox Sports 1 would never, ever let him to come on with a group of guys, one, who isn't going to do anything for their network, and two, they're not going to let us freelance questions because if he says some shit that they can't take back, he could fuck up their money flows.
When we got our boy on from Valley Sports, I had to sign a paper and fill out some basic questionnaire thing. We could get him on from Fox Sports 1, but like you said, our questions have to be freaking vanilla as vanilla can be.
Oh, they gotta get vetted and everything.
If it's a personal person and they just want to come on and talk with you, yeah, it's fine.
It's not
that
that they have
people I've had to sign a disclaimer, and Charles and I always tell everybody right off the bat, if there's anything you don't want on the show, we'll just take it on anyway. We've never had to, and I don't believe we ever will.
Even if I dislike your TV personality, I'm going to enjoy the shit out of the conversation. I'm not here to hurt. Yeah, and I'm not here to hurt you or your job or your money.
Honestly, we
But I
probably
got questions.
have something written up, but
I got questions.
And I'll off the air ask questions, and then I'll refer to it later on. Oh yeah, but it's always going to be like sources. This is what it is. It's sources. I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm not gonna waste.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste time telling you something that I didn't.
You come from the perspective as if we were actually going to source media and actually ask them questions pertaining to things that are going on, and we were trying to get intel towards reporting something. Yeah, we definitely got to watch ourselves. But since we do this, we're all kind of our own little
We're
person.
our own network, so we
have
answer
our own opinions. We can get
answer to
away with
ourselves.
this on the show, and that's the part about the podcast that I absolutely love is that we all can have our opinions.
We're
You
our
can
own
get mad at me for mine.
subcontracted through other.
Charles can throw me under the bus for the stuff that I say, and guess what? At the end of the day, we all start laughing at the end of it. It sucks for these guys that go on these shows.
What do you be saying, Charles? It's radio gold.
It's radio gold.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Mike went to school. He understands like the entire other side of what we do, and that there's a gray area and there's a fine line you got to walk. And I'm glad that we don't have to walk that line.
Even one of the interviews we had today, after the radio, there was a conversation that couldn't be had on radio. It happens all the time. It's one of my favorite parts of this job or hobby. Can't even call it. It'll never be a job. It's always a hobby. I don't care if I even get a paycheck, right? It's still it's a passive income.
If you have fun doing it.
You don't even care if you get a paycheck.
It's like I'm that guy every cliffside view. Shit.
Tweaking.
Charles is over here just hitting.
I did get a sweet ass screenshot of you frozen earlier today, bro. Like it looked like, but so PR was speaking, and like all of a sudden you froze. I was like, bro, I don't know.
He's looking at you pretty angry, man.
Yeah, you should keep saying what you're saying. He's frozen. And oh, bro,
it was creepy looking.
Hard stone cold. I'll send it to the group. I'll send it to the group.
When I say it was creepy,
yeah.
I was like,
it's a hashtag fuck around and find out phase. Fuck around and find out. Perfect old crazy eye and everything.
Crazy eye.
Oh boy, crazy eye.
Yeah. It was awesome. Talking about crazy eye, fantasy football.
You have some rabbit tail stuck up your ass.
Guys, listen, it's only luck if it happens a few times.
It has happened a few times.
Run it back and tell everybody once again how this works.
You've had 4 games out of sheer fucking luck.
Hey, screw you. Yeah. I have to play the guy this week, so I want all the bad voodoo and juju go his way. So,
bro, come on now, dude.
No, I don't. This is the healthiest my team has been all season, Charles. So if I lose to you, it's 100% validated. So
this is the amazing, scary thing, right? The thing that really is whoa. Okay, so you look at my points for. And I've got the most points for in the league. So I'm scoring points. Everybody is doing right now. They're coming in. And I'm not blowing everyone out of the water by a couple hundred like it was last year either. There's 3 people within 100 points. So it's very close. But then you go look at the points against, and I'm top 3 in the points against. So it's like the people I'm fucking playing have also been showing up when they play me. Like I have yet. I thought this week, I was like, oh yeah, finally, the fucker ain't gonna score 100 points. Hell yeah. He got 101, right? Every fucking week, bro. It didn't matter.
The hottest team right now is freaking Joey's averaging
team
150 points a game. Absolutely insane.
It's because, and everyone's getting healthy. Like CMC's coming back, so I'm gonna have to play a healthy 31 left turns. Like he's not in the playoffs, but now I'm going like. Now my streak's coming to this point. Like it's got to come to an end eventually.
You're getting to the back end of your schedule.
Yeah, I got a 99% chance to win. I still got to play somebody else.
And seeding really doesn't even matter. You're just going to clinch that playoff spot where you just you're going to you'll be 10-2. And
if I win if I win one of the next 3, I'm in the playoffs.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. There's only what?
And my next 3. There's 6 or 7 games left. But
I'm slowly creeping in my championship league. It's slow. Mike, I just want to apologize formally this week that if I happen, because I'm being humble this year. These last 2 weeks, I've been quiet. I've been just being very polite to people. I've been very humble. I just want to say I hope you have a good week this week. And I
so you two are playing each other too?
In our championship, in our league, we play each other this week.
Well, him and I play each other this week.
So
awesome. It's rivalry week then, all right?
He's got a lot to go on right now. Yeah. Best friend versus podcast friend.
There you go.
Mike's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah. So I play Patrick this week, and then I play you next week, and then I play Hunter the following week.
It's just back to back.
Listen, I just want to say congratulations, Charles, because you're 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to beat me.
I should get one of the next 3. Yeah, I should.
You're probably going to get 2.
Yeah. Wow.
Just not Patrick's.
Yeah, let's see. We'll see. Patrick had a great week last week. Lots of good things happened. I think. Look, I was looking too because this is where science comes in, bro. I wasn't just looking at mine. I've also started digging into Patrick's matchups.
Yeah.
What would I put in? It's the moment in chat yesterday. I was like, bro,
Pacheco is supposed to be coming off the IR this week. I believe he's been practicing. He's been walking around. He's healthy-ish. So I'm assuming he's going to be back within the next 2 weeks here. So that should help for a playoff run.
Yeah, I as much as I want the back-to-back title, I believe it will elude me this year. And I'll have to restart the attempt next year.
Have we confirmed, everybody, that we are going to the Dynasty next season? Everybody was in. Yeah.
At this point, everyone's.
Okay. So at the end of the season, we'll have one of those blah 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 things, and we'll figure that out.
We'll be drafting for the Dynasty. We'll be drafting for the Dynasty. Yep.
Are we drafting off Sleeper app?
I think we're gonna switch it up. Yeah,
we'll have to. Yeah, because you can't do the Dynasty and the fan.
No,
we can, but it's got to reset every year. So that means the commissioner has to go in and redo the fucking thing, and then
I think if we do it on Sleeper, we'll be able to do it live, and we'll be able to have the screen up on.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Sleeper is a whole. Yeah. Now I've been doing Sleeper this year, and not the made up one that we did. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are doing it outside of anything, but we actually have a league. I'm in a league using the Sleeper app for the first time this year. We switched from ESPN. We were on ESPN for 10 years, and we switched over to the Sleeper app because we wanted a bigger league. We wanted to add 2 or 4 more people, and the concept of Sleeper, it is very much beneficial long-term wise because how you can build and manage. The science is one thing on ESPN, but the science on Sleeper app, because again, not only are you drafting for your regular players, you're drafting after the NFL draft for rookies after that fact.
Yeah.
And then you have draft picks that you could trade throughout the season. So it definitely makes it.
If you're not ready, if you're not ready to go full 100 into the Dynasty,
you're going to die. It's going to eat you alive.
Yeah, I expect it to eat quite a few people in the beginning. I believe our turnover rate will be massive at the start. It's going to be tough because just because we lose a few people, it doesn't mean we're redrafting. The redraft will be established.
Everybody's going to be fine that first season.
Yep.
Once the trade thing starts coming into effect, people are going to start moving players. That's when it's going to get nuts.
So here's my question with the Sleeper. So with the Dynasty League, I know with us right now, or not us, but the one that I'm in, we have not only have the quarterbacks, the 2 running backs, the 2 receivers, the flex, all that jazz, the kicker. We have the defense, but in this one we have DBs, defensive line, defensive end.
We'll talk about that at the end of the year. We'll figure what everybody wants.
It makes it a lot interesting, but
bro, I play fantasy baseball. I play fantasy basketball. So anything to add more
for the
to
people that are not as in depth at looking at players individually, just because you want the defense. Now you're not only do you have to look at your defense.
No, fuck this. Fuck this. I want to draft an edge.
That's what I'm saying. You're having to now do homework
all day
on individual defensive players.
Micah Parsons,
TJ Watt all day.
It's when I tell you,
still eating at me.
Like when I go on ESPN, I sit on ESPN for a minute, right? But on the Sleeper app, I spend more time on the Sleeper app adjusting my lineup more just because of how in depth it is and how crazy.
I believe it.
Intentional you have to be with setting up your lineup.
I'd be saying that also.
He's not going undefeated next year. I promise you that.
Oh, you're going to be the one to take him out, all right? You heard it here first.
Next year, he will not go undefeated. You might get it this year.
No, I'm not. No,
Just like Charles and I are not getting tattoos this year.
No. And like I said, I've been looking into it. I've got it. I've Watson that thing more than Watson itself. Watson's my fuck shit. It's
I like the Sleeper app. All in all, the Sleeper app is very good. Mike, I know you're used to the ESPN. This might be a little few extra pieces, but ultimately, me knowing who you are when it comes to just NFL players in general, I think you're probably gonna love this app more than you think you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because of the, don't worry, there's no auction. You don't gotta worry about that auction shit, the bidding and that
Salary
shit.
cap bullshit.
None of that shit.
Yeah.
It's just straight up draft, but it's just so much more integral than just drafting a player, because now you're drafting players that are going to be on your team moving into the next year. You're going to have to lock some players in that are going to
Right.
still be there. So it's a whole different world of drafting fantasy football.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I'm honest. I'm more excited about every year in our rookie draft, more or less.
Yes, because it's going to be different.
Yeah.
And
'cause
Sleeper, if you want to sponsor us, by all means.
we're
There
all
you go.
for it. We're all for it. But,
Damn
well,
it, that means I'm gonna have to start watching college football. You guys,
Yes. You got to be better than Mel Kiper.
Be
Bro,
better.
I'm already better than Mel Kiper. What are
You
talking
don't
about?
challenge them. Just it's already there.
All right, let me look at this fantasy app just one more time. Yep. All right, just confirming. Yeah, I'm 8-0. Okay.
Hey, go fuck off.
I'm just saying I'm 8-0. All right.
It's not gonna last. Somebody's gonna be the Brock Lesnar to your Undertaker.
Here's the thing. I absolutely would love to be the one to knock Charles off. The problem is, even though you go to 7-2, Charles is still 8-1. Charles
Yep.
he's not going to lose. Okay, the team he has, just be completely honest. The team he has is not a team built to lose back-to-back football games. He built a great team.
He
You're
just needs
hoping
to
to
lose
beat
the
him
one that
that one
matters.
game in the playoffs to knock him out. The regular season at this point for him, beating him
irrelevant.
means nothing. Absolutely nothing. So don't even. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even worry about it.
He just needs to lose one game.
If
And
you
that's
need
in the
to,
first
if you
round.
need to beat him to
That's
get
it.
into the playoffs, good
The
fucking
playoffs. That's the only game he needs to lose.
Well, it's just being honest at this
Yeah.
point.
That's
it
the
doesn't-
only game that
It
matters.
doesn't pay to beat you now. There's no
No.
bragging
No,
rights.
you're already in.
Yeah.
Now, had I beat you the
It's
first game of the
pointless.
season, you can brag all the way up until the point in the playoffs when you lose to that other.
Listen,
person.
you beat at this point. You bragging that you beat Charles in the regular season is like the Dallas Cowboys celebrating that they beat the Giants.
This is what I will
Whoop-de
get.
fucking do.
Paul, I know this is an audio podcast, but if you're gonna watch the video, this is exactly what Charles would do if you did that.
Like, he's in
You'd be
already.
getting the
He
ring
doesn't
right to the
care.
face.
That's like
Or he'd pull one of these. Hold on, I've got to go check something back here. I've got something. Back
That's
here
like
for
you going 15-0 all the way, or 16-0 to the last game of the regular season. You're the team that says, "Yeah, you didn't go undefeated." Yeah,
No.
you're 2-17.
Even worse.
Shut up.
Is this the Patriots team that lost in the Super Bowl?
You have no idea how worried I am about this.
That's
dude.
what I'm saying.
Like,
The regular
like,
season at this point, right
the
now,
universe-
it's irrelevant.
the universe has so many ways. Oh, who's the greatest regular season fantasy football player of all time? Oh.
Listen, you can go undefeated for the whole season,
Yeah,
and then come
yeah.
back first week in the playoffs. That goose egg goes away.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
and
get
then
him
like that.
we're gonna get him a big gold chain to wear.
It just makes no sense.
Last year, one of my fantasy leagues,
You have
I
to wear.
went
That's your
12
punishment
and
for
2.
winning. Is you have to wear that gold chain every episode. We do it for an NFL.
I went 12-2 last year. 12-2 last year.
Yeah.
I was destroying people.
Yeah.
First round of the playoffs, I got smacked 146-82.
Oh, I was in the Mel Kiper League, the NFL Mel Kiper League, with you just do fantasy points and you pick you draft a team and it's ranking.
Yeah.
I think 3-4 years ago I was in the top like 50, and then all of a sudden like the playoffs came around and I think I scored 68 points. They sat everybody that week.
I don't think people realize how much the playoffs are more important than they think. Because it's, again, the
You have
playoffs
to be
is a
very
new
careful
season
that
and
your
it
team's
starts
not
over.
13-1 going into the playoffs because they will rest people.
That's
3 weeks,
that was
3-4
something I
weeks.
took into major consideration this year.
Yeah, I got a bunch of crappy team players.
It's going to end up hitting me again. I know it's going to.
For at least one player, yeah.
Yeah, if I
I'm
make
glad
it.
Dallas sucks.
Yeah,
They're
if
gonna keep trying.
I know. If I make it to the championship game, I know week 2 of the championship round I will not have Derrick Henry. I will not have Lamar
If they
Jackson.
keep playing the way they're playing, absolutely not.
Hey,
No,
where,
no, it's
by
just
the way, where do you think CD Lamb is ranked this year in receptions? Or,
seventh.
Yeah, seventh, huh?
Hey, he finally had a good game for you.
Yeah, I think
Listen,
he's
if-
actually in
dude,
the top 5 now.
He has the
In
whole
my defense,
the whole
in my
Dallas
defense-
team is CD Lamb, right?
It is.
It's pretty
Yeah.
easy to guard.
In my defense, last year this was around the same time where he just took off. So
He did have like
fantasy
9 catches or
football
something.
wise, this is around the
142
time where he
yards,
took
2
off
tutties.
last year.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to know something really bad? Let's get right into the NFL. I just want to say one thing about the fact that I sat Calvin Ridley the other day. I literally looked up and down for his target share, all this stuff Charles looks into.
That was an anomaly.
This
Nobody
dude-
saw that coming.
This dude went out and like literally caught like 10 out of 10 passes. Or something.
Nobody saw that man
Nuts.
dropping that many points.
No, I expected him to get
Yeah.
about 8-9 points or 10 points. That's why I'm like, I'd rather have Tucker Kraft in there to catch a touchdown, which he's been very consistent. But now
And he
this is
got
probably
one.
the week I'm not going to play him because they're playing the Lions, even though they have a shit pass
I'm telling you,
defense.
they've the 31st worst pass defense.
What if-
the
what
big
if-
thing? The big thing is Green Bay's having an issue capitalizing in the red zone right
But
now.
I
Is
don't
Jordan Love
trust
gonna be cleared
Willis
to play
to
this
throw
week?
him the football like.
Jordan will be playing.
Okay.
Bro, I was watching videos of him today.
What,
Like shorts and shit.
what happened? Because I wasn't watching the game,
They,
so I don't
they
know.
say they said groin, but I think he re-aggravated his knee injury. And
Yeah.
but Charles said that you said you heard something about the MRI came back negative.
Oh,
so
our
it's no
MRI
ligament
came back
damage.
clean.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
good
absolutely
to
no
go.
damage. I was watching them because the Packers do this thing when all the players are like walking to practice. There's these crazy things. What's better, this? Do you know who this is as a Halloween person? Blah 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 blah.
Gotcha.
But so Jordan was walking up in one of those videos, no limp, nothing, and all reports at this point have it very high on him playing. I like our offensive line without them having an elite pass rusher like Hutchinson. I like our offensive line in this one.
I'm like,
I'm
you
not
have good
saying
odds.
Detroit's offensive line. I'm not saying Green Bay's offensive line is better than Detroit's. No, but I'm saying I like our offensive line.
You want to? How do you want to get into the NFL here? Do you want to go into headlines here? Because there's a couple headlines, a couple things happened.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess the biggest one that happened, the Indianapolis Colts just benched Anthony Richardson for
Shout out to me being right.
Joe Flacco?
Yeah, for Joe
Yeah.
Flacco. One of the
So,
biggest.
all right,
wonder
all right.
what he did.
I do understand Pat McAfee. All these guys went out there and they labeled this guy like a little bitch, whatever you want to call it. These people that have played in the NFL all say that you're a leader, you're the quarterback. You definitely put this on your shoulders. This is on you for doing this. 3rd and goal, taking yourself out, tapping the helmet. I'm tired, I think is what he said.
Yeah.
If he's hurt,
like, it's
that's
not
a
a good
different
look.
story. But I
It's third
believe
quarter,
he just was tired. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
no,
a good
yeah,
look.
he said he was tired.
Said it in the press
If
conference.
dude didn't say that nobody's playing quarterback like him except Lamar, this wouldn't have been a big deal. But
I
you
think that
came
was a
out,
big thing. Yeah.
you came out with your dick in your hand to the press, and then when the press said, "Okay, show me what you got," you went limp as fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 44% completion percentage. That's 10% worse than what he averaged in 16 games in college.
Charles called him out before he was a rookie, before he played his first game on this.
It made absolutely no sense. The dude needed to sit behind and learn. He needed to learn football. He played 16 games in college. He's played 10 in the NFL. He's played 26 fucking games of football.
And if you're a Colts
What are we
fan,
talking about here?
dude, go ahead. You're super pumped on Flacco coming out. Look what he did last year.
I'm like, it's
You guys
not
were
the
winning
worst
with
decision
Flacco.
in the world.
No, you were winning with Flacco. Whatever.
Yeah. All right.
I know it makes sense, but I also know that his mental has got to be a little.
Something's not right up there.
Something's not right. Because I'm like, for you to tap out in the middle of a game like that and your
Is
excuse.
this an Indianapolis Colts situation? Because we're basically looking at, are we about to enter the Andrew Luck waters? Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know. 'cause
oh,
you
him
don't-
retiring?
No, I'm saying if we're talking
This
about
is their
Anthony
third
Richardson.
quarterback since Luck
mentally.
retired. And
Actually, it happened. Actually, right after Manning is when it all started. They had another quarterback,
Yeah.
I believe, before Luck.
it was
Is there too
Brissett.
much pressure? Is the city of Indianapolis and
It
all
was
this?
Brissett before, I think.
It was
Like-
Brissett, yeah.
Yeah,
Jacoby.
but I'm just saying, like,
He
are you-
I
bailed.
think mentally, this definitely
you
doesn't
had
help.
Andrew Luck retiring mentally. You've got
You
Luck
had Philip
Luck
Rivers
had a
and Matt Ryan.
punctured
to do
lung,
nothing.
and then he checked
you
out
got
early too.
Richardson checking out mentally, potentially.
Is
Says
that
he's tired.
I'm like,
Stadium cursed?
is that a front office?
That's what I was asking.
A front office
Is the stadium cursed? Is there a curse on the building? Let's take him for his word. He's a young man. Who the writing on the wall said he is. I don't know. I'm sorry that all of you, and not y'all, right? But I'm sorry that there was this fucking hype around this young man. But you played 16 games in college and had a 54% completion percentage. You were sub 20% on throws 15 yards down the field.
So did
The
the
only
combine
thing you were good at was throwing it to the flat 54% of the time. Like,
So do you think the combine raised?
You need a Hail
the
Mary.
contract
This
more?
dude's got a hell of a cannon. But
I'm like, he's not connecting on those. Is that also the
Well,
receiver, the play calling? Like, what's going on?
again, the combine is more about media hype than it is about analytical
How I
hype.
feel about that shit.
Yeah, it's cool that you could chuck a ball with no
pressure.
pads and no pressure.
You're talking about Milton, where he threw the orange over the
Not
uprights.
just even that. Zach Wilson was the same shit.
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
And
That's-
Darnold was the same thing.
Anthony Richardson shot up the draft because of his athletic ability, and that this has a lot to do with Lamar Jackson
He's
and
a
the
monster.
NFC
He's
attempting
6'5",
to get
260
Lamar
pounds.
Jackson.
This
Well,
dude's
yeah,
a freaking
absolutely.
tight end out there playing quarterback. He's a monster. He shouldn't. Maybe he's going to make a position change.
Like Pryor?
More like
Taysom
Taysom
Hill?
Hill. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
He can't take a hit. He ain't. What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's
I don't know
true.
if it's about
Taysom
taking
Hill
a
can
hit,
get
more
abused.
so it's Taysom Hill's a punisher.
It is when you're
He
playing
got
a
more
tight
weight on
end
his body,
position.
too.
When you're playing a tight end position, it's 100% about taking hits.
And
He would
blocking
be a
and
he would be a terrible tight end.
Put him on the
yeah,
slot.
no. Who's he gonna block and chip? That dude ain't
Well-
chipping nobody.
Listen, and nobody needs to feel bad for this kid. He's made millions, but he's the next Marcus Mariota, and that might be too
Yeah.
kind. I was
know,
mad
I
on
think-
draft day
all
when
that.
I was mad on draft day when the Colts drafted him. People in the chat were wondering, "Oh, you don't like the kid?" I said, "No, I don't like the organization. They're going to ruin this kid."
Can we be honest? You can say you don't like the pick. I think that's what you really get to. Is I don't like the pick. I don't like the place.
I didn't like where he went. Yeah.
Yeah, sixth round maybe.
No, I
Maybe
just
It's
hell,
just Indianapolis in general.
Yeah, I
Right.
could have cared less if he got the big Penix energy treatment. He just just don't go to Indianapolis. They're going to ruin you.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
and I hate to say it that way, but
Is
there's a
is that-
handful of teams that you can just expect that, hey, they're probably going to be shit, and it's
Yeah.
not because they're shit. It's just the situation they continue to walk in is just shit. You don't change culture in a day,
No.
right? The
about
New
it.
Do you
Jersey
put
Jets
that-
are trying to figure that one out.
Do you put this culture issue on Ballard, or do you put it on Ursay?
Ursay.
Ursay.
Or say, yeah, 100%.
Okay, that's where I was thinking too, because like the owner.
Definitely on him.
Because the old boy's a great coach.
Oh, Shane Steichen's fantastic,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
Steichen-
other
all
thing,
on the owner.
Yeah.
But
this
the other thing,
this
too,
an
is-
organizational situation.
Right.
the other thing too is, yes, Anthony Richardson is athletically gifted, but the difference. So I saw a comparison. One of these analysts were like, Anthony Richardson is a taller, less intelligent is the wrong way to say it, but like less
Right. That's
cerebral,
Yeah.
Football IQ.
less cerebral football IQ version of Jalen Hurts, where Shane Steichen got the very best out of Jalen Hurts in 22 when he could design around the plays. But with Anthony Richardson, you have to slow everything way down because, like you said, he played 16
He played
games
16
in college.
games in college and 10 in the NFL.
Here's
Yeah,
the thing: if
so-
your accuracy's been piss poor your entire career, it's not going to get
26
better going
games.
to the
Yeah.
NFL.
No, he had to sit and he had to learn and he
Yeah.
had to get with a great coaching staff. Is his career over? No. There's still massive potential. And
But he's going to be a
maybe-
backup.
Maybe in Indianapolis, but you're in a
You know where he
situation where this kid needs to sit for a couple of years, and Joe Flacco isn't a couple of years.
Can I tell you where I think the best fit is going? I can tell you he's not going to go there, and it's San Francisco. That's where he should go to learn. San Francisco.
I think he would fit better in a McVay scheme. Send him to the Rams.
The Rams. Yeah, I could see that too.
He's got to go where he could sit for 2 years. Stafford.
I agree.
Matthew Stafford's got 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
Stafford's
I
got 2 or 3 years.
I don't know, man.
Just send him to Carolina.
I wouldn't be shocked if Stafford and
Carolina.
McVay take a Kingsbury vacation.
Oh shit! Yeah.
McVay's got a Super Bowl. He doesn't need anything else.
All right, any signings around the league? I believe somebody posted one in the group chat that
Vikings
there was
picked up edge rusher.
And didn't Baltimore trade for somebody from Carolina?
Tackle.
Or left
You're
tackle.
telling me the Vikings can trade for a left tackle, but the Bears can't do shit.
Can we ask the question, why did the Vikings trade for a Cam Akers, by the way? Why? Speaking of which, because I did not see
Aaron Jones get fucking hurt all the time, dude.
But
No,
he's
Aaron
been
Jones
fine the
hasn't
last
missed a
2
game.
weeks.
He's
Yeah.
been out there the last 2 weeks. He's been playing.
Awesome. That's great.
Who knows?
No, I'm just saying I don't get why they signed
yeah,
him.
no,
He's
that's-
saying that it's only a matter of time.
It's only a fucking That's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Awesome.
If
That's
you're going
great.
by that MO, I mean,
Just
they
give
have,
it
they have
him- just
Madison
give it
on
time.
the bench. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like they needed a running back.
Can we talk about this Dalvin?
Well, yeah,
Cook to the
when you lose
Cowboys?
one, you need
Well,
another
Dalvin
backup.
Cook to the Cowboys? All right, go for it. Go for
What
it.
is
what's
what
up?
is that? What is him and Zeke supposed to scare?
Ezekiel Elliott. had
Have
a
you seen
touchdown.
him when he's got that half shirt on? That fuck crazy hair? It scares everyone.
Well, it looks like an
Yeah,
Ewok. Yeah.
Oh, you mean on the football field?
Oh,
I'm not talking about
Yeah,
Halloween.
Zeke hasn't.
I'm not talking
Hasn't
about
he-
Halloween. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
he
when
he has 2 rushing touchdowns.
trick or treat.
No, not Zeke. Zeke has 2 rushing touchdowns.
I know.
on
I
the season.
and I drafted the bum.
Yeah.
Glad I
Zeke,
got rid of him week 1. I released him
the,
one.
the other
Dallas
problem,
Cowboys
too,
are going
is
all out, bro. What's the question?
yeah,
all
in,
out
the
is
people.
exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry, all in.
Yeah, we went all out, eh?
The problem too that Dallas faces is their O line is trash now. They lost Biotish, they lost Smith.
They went
They
from
lost a
having
couple-
4 Pro Bowlers on their offensive
Yeah.
line to being the
Yeah.
worst in the league.
This is the second time the Cowboys in my lifetime have gotten a Minnesota Vikings running back at the end of their career, expecting them to do something.
Oh, that's right. They got AP, didn't he?
No, Herschel Walker's old ass.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For all them draft picks and didn't get shit out of him, and now they got
Oh,
Dalvin,
yeah.
and they're not gonna get a Thedum Thada out of him.
The Dallas is going to struggle to win 5 or 6 games this year.
We might, and me and the Cowboys might end up with the same amount of wins this year.
The Bears are probably going to have more wins.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
definitely.
holding my breath.
I'm looking at Dallas right now, and I do not see that defense or that
Well,
that offense.
you gotta think-
scoring enough points.
Dallas has a rough schedule coming up.
Yeah.
2 weeks they've got Philly,
Tough schedules.
They're going to get smoked. Yeah.
and they're horrible at home this year. They're
And
absolutely
they're
trash.
gonna
at home
get
this
smoked
year.
by Washington too. Washington's
Oh.
defense is legit.
Not just that, Jaden Daniels is going to carve their secondary apart. Like Dallas's secondary, they lost Stephon Gilmore. Their
Is
Deron
that-
Bland is injured.
Is that the worst team to get pressure on the quarterback, or am I wrong? I think Dallas is the worst team to get pressure on a quarterback.
I,
Yeah,
they're,
we smoked
I
the
think
bottom
they're
of the
bottom.
league.
Yeah, they're like bottom 5, but I think
I think you looked
There's-
this up, Charles.
there's
They were in the
worse.
bottom 3 or
I
bottom 4.
don't want to interrupt on this lovely conversation about the Cowboys sucking ass, because that's.
No, you can move us on. We can go on to the next deal.
But you want to talk about we might win a game. Okay. Cardinals might. Patriots, I don't know anymore. Packers, fuck no. Vikings, probably not. Lions, probably not. 49ers, maybe. I doubt it. Vikings again, Lions, probably not. Seahawks, maybe. Packers,
I
no.
think the Arizona Cardinals, the Seahawks, and I can see you winning the New England game. That's 3 more wins. What does that put you
Yeah.
at? 7? That's what you said earlier in the season. 7 wins is not correct, Charles.
That's exactly what I fucking said.
Exactly. That's
I think
are you
8.
thinking? I'm thinking the same thing.
That's exactly what I said. I said 7
I'm
wins.
like, after these first 7 games,
I also said 13 wins for the Packers. That's not happening. So
I see 13 for the Packers, but I think 11 or 12 is realistic for the Packers.
Yeah.
the Lions are probably the
10 to 12. Yeah,
I think the Lions and the Packers are probably going to be the only 2 teams to make it out of the playoffs.
Those
out of
teams
the
are going to
division.
beat each other up. All 3 of those teams are going to beat each other
Yeah,
up.
we're about
Yeah.
to beat the hell out of the playoffs. That's just what it is. Everyone, yeah. There's
Well,
a
they-
reason
they-
4 teams don't make it to the playoffs.
They're saying Green Bay's playoff run starts this week because they start playing Detroit. Then they've got Minnesota,
Here's my thing with the
Chicago.
Detroit game. Win or lose, I don't have a lot of stock in this game. It's a pre-Thanksgiving game. Now, I hate the Lions and want to beat the Lions at home because it's the Lions. And it means more when we lose to the Lions. And I get that. And that's not what I'm saying. But losing this game right now means nothing because there's another one moving forward. Winning this game right now means nothing because there's another one moving forward. And there's so many games in between that there's so much that can happen that just these pre-Thanksgiving games, as much as I love them, when you're on the path to the playoffs, these don't mean as much per se in the win-loss category.
You don't want to lose a home game. That's the problem.
We did last year and went one fucking game away from the NFC Championship game. It's a pre-Thanksgiving game.
Yeah,
well,
as long as
3
you're
weeks from Thanksgiving, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's
as long as you're not
2 more games to let's say we lose this game, win the next 2.
But here's the thing. I told you this. They play 3 games in 11 days. That is absolutely effing brutal.
I agree with you.
That is not going to be good for the players. I do not understand how the NFL allowed that to happen.
We're young. I don't think it'll matter that much.
I don't think that's even ever happened in the NFL. I think 12 or 13 days, but 11 days they're going to play 3 games. That's crazy.
Most of them are at home, though.
They're very true. And they do. One of those games is Miami. That's like a bye, right?
Even the way they're playing, hell yeah.
And the way and Miami's showing up, like it's not going to be 90 like it was today.
No, it'll be crazy. 70, 76, 77 maybe.
Hell no, I said it when Miami shows up in a couple weeks. Hell no, it's going to be 30 degrees.
It'll be like 40 degrees
it's a home game. I thought it was in Miami.
72 degrees. Fuck, what the fuck?
It was in Miami, Chuck.
Oh, God, Jesus, God. I said, I want my cheese.
The cheese is going to be melting.
God dang.
Miami plays like shit in the cold.
Oh, yeah.
I
can see Tua throwing 3 picks in that game.
And I don't want it to seem, oh, you're afraid to lose this game. That's why you say it. I've been saying this fucking shit all year about pre-Thanksgiving games. I love football, but like the severity of win-losses, as long as you're on the correct path to the playoffs, don't start coming truly into fruition until after Thanksgiving. And this is just one of them where it doesn't look okay. So last year, Packers won on that Thanksgiving Day game, right?
Correct.
How did they lose at home? Doesn't fucking matter.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because it was a pre-Thanksgiving game. It didn't fucking matter how they lost at home. It didn't. And then you move on for the rest of the season, and it's boom, we're 1 game away, a couple tackles, and a goddamn kicker from the NFC Championship game. That game we lost at home sucked because it was the Lions. But had we won that game, I'm asking you the same fuck question. Let's see, week 4, we had a solid win last year. Who'd we play week 4? I don't even know if we had a solid win. It's week fucking 4.
The reason this game actually does matter, though, is you do not want to fall to 0-2 in the division.
Potentially, yes.
Because you're going to be playing on the road in the playoffs, and I would rather have a home game. You'd like to win this game, get back to 1-1, and only be a game back of the Lions.
I'm not disagreeing with you. You
would
to win this game.
I'm saying you shouldn't.
They're not
going to
try
think this game doesn't matter
because
this game absolutely matters a shit ton. It's a divisional game. If this was them playing
we went into Dallas, beat them by 400, and then we went up to fucking San Francisco and was literally a field goal kick and a tackle away from beating them. Me personally, I understand what you're saying, but no, it's a pre-Thanksgiving game to me. All it does is show you where you are, where you need to be, or if you're on the path you want to be on.
That's 8 weeks in. We already know that. It's halfway through the season right now. We know where everybody stands. Is there one team in the NFL that you have question marks around, like that you don't think is going to make the playoffs, that could make the playoffs right now?
Green Bay Packers.
Let's go around the horn. This is the kind of thing I'm thinking of right now. Okay. I think Arizona for me is one of the teams I'm thinking of. Paul, you got one?
As far as what? I'm sorry.
Team, right? We're 8 weeks. We're halfway through the season. Is there a team that's on the cusp of making the playoffs that you don't know? You got question marks around them.
If I had to pick a team right now, I would probably put my sleeper pick as Arizona as well. Like there's question marks, but they're still able to put
Right, they're
games
good
on the
enough.
board, they might sneak in as a wild card if not able to take the division. Because again, right now the division for the NFC
Yeah, that division
West
is up for grabs.
is just it's in shambles right now, especially with San Francisco being so hurt with some of their key players, and the fact that Arizona right now is first in the division at 4-4 is fucking crazy. But I think they could be the team that could probably upset somebody or beat somebody that they should have no reason beating in the playoffs and just ruining somebody's run for a deep playoff.
Charles is very high on Arizona. He believes they're a playoff team right now.
A healthy Kyler Murray makes Arizona a playoff team.
Absolutely.
And then you got Marvin Harrison and McBride that are just they're hot. Marvin Harrison's off and on, but McBride has been consistently a key player that he can count on to be able to throw the ball. James Conner's a dog. He's been a dog since he's been there for Arizona. And if their defense can just stay solid, that's a team that could piss somebody off.
Yeah. Mike?
Honestly, the Cincinnati Bengals, they have a lot of question marks, but
Are they too far? Are they too far back though?
I don't think so. I think because realistically, you need what 10 wins to get in.
The AFC is down, so
yeah.
I would say even 8 or 9
Maybe
might
even
get in the AFC.
Yeah.
The wild card.
I think they're gonna definitely come in second in their division.
They've got Raiders, Ravens, Chargers.
They can win 2 out of those 3. So what does that put them at the record wise if they win 2 out of 3 there?
They're what 2 and
500.
500.
Yeah.
And that gets you back to basically ground zero, and that you start
You're
from there.
500 at Thanksgiving, and then after that, you've got Steelers, Cowboys, Titans, Browns, Broncos, Steelers.
Ooh, Steelers is tough.
Steelers is the only tough 2 games they got in that stretch. Everything else is
That's what I mean.
winnable.
They can go 4-2 to end the year, which if they're at 500,
That'll put them at about 9 and 8 or 10 and 6.
wild card team, and probably one of the most dangerous wild card teams in the AFC that year.
Put up 400 yards of offense every game.
Yeah, because at this point you're looking at the Steelers or Ravens for that division. Those things are pre-Thanksgiving determined.
The Ravens dropping to 5 and 3 really opened up that division for everybody.
With the Browns,
the loss to the Browns.
If you look at this,
if you didn't watch the game, if the Ravens just did that thing where I feel like they were probably catching with fucking rugby balls again because they dropped everything.
Except for Flowers. Flowers played great.
Yeah.
I believe he had
so
13
the last
catches
2
or something.
spots in the AFC belong to the Ravens and the Chargers right now. Ravens are 5 and 3, but the Chargers are 4 and 3, and the only person above the Bengals right now are the Colts that are 4 and 4. So in theory,
yeah, that's what
they could easily make at least a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely see him making a wild card spot. Joe Burrow,
it's
T. Higgins.
It's a perfect question mark.
They're too talented. Now the problem is their offensive line is just as bad as Chicago's is, and their defense is atrocious. We carved their fucking defense up, and our offense still hasn't scored in the first quarter of a game, and we made them look like shit.
Just need to keep Burrow healthy enough for them to make the playoffs. That's all. The dude will be playing out there throwing on one leg.
You're 3 losses away from chalking this season up to a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll never see Joe Burrow. You'll never see that from Joe Burrow.
Burrow's a freaking dog when it comes to playing hurt.
And you hate to say it, if the team you're chasing is the Colts, you're like, oh, you should be fine. But no, they just put in Joe Flacco. They're making a playoff push.
Joe Flacco is Mr.
Right,
Comeback.
I'm like, this is the thing. As the Colts, you're 4 and 4 right now, halfway through the season.
Yeah,
I
mean,
give
he
him
was
another
throwing
5
for
wins.
300
It's
yards.
either win or
9 wins.
bust. It's win or bust at this point for the Colts.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be in the lottery again.
No.
Yeah.
Reason
Even
they
if
benched
they're-
Richardson.
And even if they're in the lottery, they're not going to be high enough to get a pick that's going to make a difference for what
So
they need.
you're at this point, you're trying to make a wild card spot. In theory, though, even with that, you could still possibly maybe get the division, depending on how the Texans play the second half of the season. I'm like, it's the
Texans
AFC
have
South.
lost.
That's a
Texans,
stretch, but that's going to be rough. Yeah.
Texans are losing quite a bit as the season's going on. They've still got Nico That's gone.
They just lost
Diggs for the season.
So now
For
your
the
number
year,
one guy
yeah.
until Nico
Was
comes
that a
back is
non-contact
Tank Dell.
injury?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
And
Another
now
one.
Tank Dell moves in as your number one spot until Nico comes back.
And Nico's out for now. Is he on the IR?
I think he's out at
got
least
two
one more week. I
got
think
one or two more games then.
I'm like, it's gonna.
But that division is swirling. What do you've got? What you've got?
The Colts, the
Jacksonville,
Titans,
Colts,
and Jags,
the Titans, and Houston. Yeah,
It's the shit
Like-
show down there.
you can be 7-100 and get into the playoffs in that division. But
But it's
who's
the
gonna be-
AFC.
Texans.
It's the NFC South of last year.
Arguably, though, a healthy Texans team that hobbled into the playoffs would be a terrible team to play. They would be a terrible team to play in the wild card, just like the Bengals.
Yeah, with the top 15 defense, yeah.
Because it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to score. That's cool. But so are they. Are you going to score more than them? You're averaging 23 points a game, but it's because your defense only gives up 18. Your defense is going to give up 25 to these guys.
And that's
You
the
need
thing.
to find 6 points.
You have to playing the Texans. You have to be a dynamic offense because if you can't score 30 points a game, you're not going to outscore.
I mean,
CJ Stroud. It's just not going to happen.
The kicker is that there are two significant games now that the NFC North has shown you. The Vikings and the Packers have shown you how to beat CJ Stroud. So I think that's going to be difficult for him to overcome moving forward.
Yeah.
But my biggest question mark, though, arguably right now, is the Green Bay Packers. And it's like we talked about yesterday. I don't know if we're an NFC North division winner, a wild card team, or an injury and a hiccup away from a solid draft pick next year. I mean, it's still too early for me. This game with the Detroit Lions is going to be a great measuring stick. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a huge test for Jeff. It's going to be a fantastic game for the young men on that field. They're hungry. Detroit has come in and been rude in our house to these individuals. This isn't Aaron Rodgers, right? Like these young men haven't, like right now, we've been getting our ass kicked by the Lions. So they're going to be playing for something a little different. Again, I want to see our defense come out and be great. We've been resting a few players coming into this game. There is an importance to this game, like Patrick had stated. You don't want to go on 0-2 in the division. You don't. There is time to make up for whatever happens on both sides, be it the Lions or the Packers, because the Lions have been playing great fucking football. All right, but I'm not about to sit here and talk about all the ways on how the Lions can win. I don't care about that. Care about how the Packers are going to beat the Lions. And to me, that is by pushing Jared Goff out of the pocket. If we're collapsing that pocket in and giving them time,
I think they're going to need at least 2 turnovers. They're going to have to be +2 in the turnover margin in order to win that game. I'm not saying they won't be. I'm just saying they need to be.
Yeah, I agree
Well,
with
here's
that. I agree with that.
here's the thing. They've got to face – the Lions have to worry about a couple of different things. One, y'all do have a really dynamic receiving core, like a really young, dynamic receiving core. But Josh Jacobs as well has come on and just eaten every time y'all feed him the ball. The kid just eats.
Dude.
That long run he had oh my God.
He's like a
Juking
poor
people out of their
man's Derrick
fucking
Henry.
socks. Yeah, really he is. But the other thing they have to worry about is one of your studs on defense. Xavier McKinney's been playing lights out for you guys.
Yeah. And Eric Williams was injured. He wasn't in. Quay Walker wasn't in last game. We had 3 significant defensive pieces out last game.
Yeah, 3 DBs that were out.
Yeah, getting ready for the Lions game.
I think Xavier McKinney might actually be the best safety in the NFL this year.
He is playing that way statistically on pretty much all of those graphs and scales you can find.
Yeah.
He's 5 or 6 points ahead of the next safety.
I think what Green Bay has to do is you have to stop Detroit's running attack. You have to.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest task. Our run defense
Knuckles,
right now is middle of the pack. So.
Yeah. Montgomery
and Gibbs.
Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit.
That's a two-headed
monster.
Bro, they remind me of Ingram and Kamara back in the day.
Yeah.
Like just attack. Okay, you're going to hold steady or we're at the goal line. You know who we're putting in.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a 40-yard quick hit run. Let's put Jahmyr Gibbs in.
I mean,
They're getting Jay. So that's the biggest thing for you guys is stopping their run.
it's time for the Packers to step up. Because dating back to Aaron Rodgers, I believe the Detroit Lions are 3-0 at Lambeau Field.
Yikes.
Yeah, the last 3 years.
Yeah, so it's time for Green Bay to step up. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot going on. I don't think Curley's going to let this happen.
No.
Just being honest.
Philly was, I think, 0-14 in Cincinnati before this week. So trust me, it can get changed up real fast.
I just pulled something up that was interesting.
Go ahead.
I'm like, I don't know how interesting you guys are going to think it is, but I thought it was weird and hilarious just because of how everything we've been talking. So I'm looking at NFL website and I'm looking at the playoff prediction, the pictures as they stand right now after week 8 finish and everything. And they got the playoff probability on everybody's.
Yep.
The Cowboys only have a
3%?
13%. They have a 26% chance.
That's way higher than what I would have thought.
Yeah,
But
me
that's
too.
not the thing
I
that
suppose
stood
too many
out.
games are left.
That's
why.
not the thing that stood out to me.
Okay, all right.
So the Vikings sitting at 6th place right now with the 60 have an 80% chance currently of making the playoffs.
That's crazy because I think that waterfall is for them. I think that's
Coming
over.
soon.
But the Packers playoff probability, what do you think it is?
36%.
42.
It's
guys
got to
don't
be
give me-
65.
You guys don't give yourself enough credit. They got you at 69%. The thing is, I'm not saying that the Vikings are a bad team, but I, to God honest truth, do not feel like they're a better team than the Packers overall.
The only reason that that percentage is reflecting that is because they have the head-to-head win over Green Bay right now.
I
So
hear
if
you.
if it came down to it, they would get it over Green Bay. That's all.
4 interceptions.
Yeah.
3, whatever it was.
But that is the only reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
My Bears
Because
only
Green
got
Bay's
an
got a half
18%
game
chance.
on them.
The Bengals have a 25% chance. The Colts have a 36% chance. They got a tough hill to climb.
Those two will flip-flop within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But
I can't see the Colts making the playoffs. Like, yeah, I like Joe Flacco, and yes, what he did in Cleveland last year was great, but Michael Pittman has not been producing this year for the Colts. Jonathan Taylor has not been the ass
dynamic
kicking.
back.
they are not utilizing him correctly.
It's just like, what the fuck is? And I know Shane Steichen. He's a Super Bowl coaching coach. Like, the dude has coached in big games. So, there's a disconnect between the coordinator and the players, or the players are just like, at this point, fucking AR doesn't give a shit. Why should I give a shit? It's crazy. I also don't see the Titans going anywhere. If the Titans win 6 games, they'll be lucky.
The Titans are their probability
6%.
at
13.
this current state. They have a 3% chance.
3. Oh, you're good.
But the Jets have a 22% chance.
Get
they
the
should be
fuck
less
out
than
of
way
here.
too high.
They should be less than 3.
Are you on ESPN right now?
NFL.
No, that's why.
Anyway, you guys,
They
you want a quick?
They suck that.
You guys want a quick go through the NFL top 10 on ESPN?
They
Let's just
suck
go
that.
through it
Sure.
and see. We'll just pick the discrepancy here. You guys all go through all of them, and then you could chime in. KC obviously 7-0, number 1. Detroit 6-1, number 2. Buffalo 5-2, number 3. Green Bay 6-2, number 4. Houston 6-2, number 5. Baltimore 5-3, number 6. Washington 6-2, number 7. Pittsburgh Steelers 6-2, number 8. Minnesota Vikings 5-2, and number 10 Philadelphia 5-2. And it literally has Philly, Minnesota, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Commanders, and Baltimore all basically even. It's separated about 2 points as far as the rankings go.
All right, give me 6, 7, 8 again.
Baltimore 6, Washington 7, and the Pittsburgh Steelers 8. Now, honestly, I would put the Steelers above the Commanders. I like where I think Baltimore should be 5th over the Texans. That doesn't make any sense to me, but
I'd take the Texans out. To me, take the Texans out.
take them out. All right, who do we move?
15.
So we move up Baltimore to 5 behind Green Bay.
Yes. No.
All right.
Baltimore stays at 6.
Who's moving
Pittsburgh.
to 5?
Pittsburgh moves up to 5.
Pittsburgh to 5, and I would
Pittsburgh
put
has a top 5 defense. They've got a Super Bowl defense.
Absolutely.
And Russell
and
Wilson,
I put
He's
Philly at
managing that
6.
offense.
Russell
just
Wilson
fine.
after Nathaniel Hackett averages a QBR around $105 to $121. If
And
you have
he's
a
playing good offense right now.
and you've got that defense, Pittsburgh should be number 5. I don't think they
And
get
this is
enough
the thing.
respect.
He should feel comfortable in Pittsburgh because it's almost if he's playing in Seattle all over again.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
has a top 5 defense with a decent offense that he can put points on the board, but he knows that his defense will be there to support him
Yeah.
in any way. So I'm like, he's probably feeling like he's back at home all over again.
God,
Yeah, I'm not upset with the top 5, especially with the matchup coming up against Green Bay and the Lions. Depending on how that goes, there might be some movement up there, but
this is why Minnesota's got such a high playoff chance. Here are
they've got
their
like
next
the
5
easiest
opponents.
fucking, yeah, dude,
yeah. Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Chicago, Arizona, Atlanta, and Seattle on there.
I have a 99% playoff chance because in this next stretch of games, sorry, but it's PR and Hunter Reed. Like,
I'm like, it's not.
love you boys, but
I'm like, you're not wrong.
yeah. Minnesota's in that same boat, but Minnesota has been the benefit of their schedule for the last few years. It's just a Minnesota thing.
Look what happened a couple years ago with them, and the Giants just fucking mollywopped them in Minnesota, and they went 11-1 for
It happened.
Yeah.
It happened to Green Bay, I think, the year before that, and the Giants came in and beat our ass at home. Like it just sometimes you're lucky to be there, sometimes you deserve to be there, right?
Minnesota is who Minnesota is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So we've got 1 through 5. I like that. So now 6, 7, 8 again. We took Houston out because between injuries and the fact that the league is blitzing CJ Stroud 92% of the time, like that's a huge tell. That's a huge tell that we've got.
Are we all in
figured out.
agreement with 1 through 4 is KC, Detroit,
Yep.
Buffalo, and Green Bay?
Yes. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
manage that.
You could even move Buffalo to 4 and move Green Bay down to 5. And anyway, those are your top 5
I
teams,
think 1 through
regardless
5,
of order.
Yeah.
Detroit,
2 through 5, I think is
all right.
however you
And then
want to put it, but yeah.
And we got Baltimore. Baltimore and the Commanders are the 2 teams. Obviously, I think we really don't know. I think Washington, of all the teams, is going to be the team that falls off the most. Even more so than
Baltimore's
Minnesota.
firmly at 6 with the projection of moving forward, I believe.
The
It's just
Commanders are
week
going to
8
probably
right
fall
now.
off this cliff. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, the Commanders wouldn't even be on the list if the Bears knew how to play fucking defense. So
5 and 3, they might still make 10 or 11. I don't know. Who knows? All right. Yeah. Pittsburgh is obviously a team that's on the rise. That defense is legit. They've had a lot of ugly wins, but like you said, Mike Tomlin is what it is. All right. Minnesota and then the Eagles. I think the Eagles are very undervalued because of maybe a couple games they had this year.
well, they
just
play in the
weren't
NFC
greatest.
East,
Yeah.
which has the Cowboys and the Giants in it right now. So you expect things to continue.
It's crazy that you would think that it's like a down year and they're sitting at 5 and 2 right now, and that's
And so this is the thing.
It's a
having
lot to
crazy
do with
season.
the last 20.
See, this is the thing. I don't think it's a down season. I think the first half of the season was the hangover and the funk. And then once we hit our bye week, if you look, now Jalen's playing under center more. He has 0 turnovers and 9 touchdowns these last 3 weeks. He has a quarterback rating over 100 in the last 3 games. Saquon is who the fuck we thought he was, worth every goddamn penny that we spent on him.
Not who the Giants thought it was.
Yeah, because the
Giants
Giants thought he was done, idiot. And then our defense is
See, everyone
finally
gets it,
starting to. Our defense is finally starting to gel and come together. Where 2 of our linebackers were 2 of the best linebackers in the league. Nakobe Dean and Zach Vaughn were 2 of the best linebackers in the league according to PFF this past week. Nolan Smith has a sack in each one of the previous 3 games. Nakobe Dean has a sack in each one of the previous 3 games. Jalen Carter's coming on. Jordan Davis has been stuffing the shit out of the run. We're holding opponents to like 17 points a game is what we're averaging, set between 17 and 18 points a game. We're top 10 defense, top 10 offense. So I think we shook the rust off and we started gelling. I don't think we're there yet, but we are damn sure on an incline
Getting
from where
there.
we started this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, like I said, I've got them at between 7 and 8. I think they have them right now. They have them at 10, which is
I did not hear fire fucking Nick chants coming from Philadelphia
Not
this
yet.
week.
No.
So I felt as if there was a carryover from last week with the offense starting to understand who they were. I believe we've said it a few times on the show, even asked a couple of times, but his first year with Kellen Moore, Kellen Moore needs to find out who Jalen is, and Jalen needs to find out who
Kellen is.
Yeah, Kellen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I think
It's just a weird name, right?
it's a really
You
weird
agree?
name. Kellogg's
You agree?
Kellen.
Yeah.
No, I think you're 100% right.
Great guy.
Jalen
Makes
needed
way
to
more
find
money
out.
than me. But
Jalen needed to find out who his OC was, and his OC needed to figure out. Now, if you look to the last 3 games, we're not throwing more than 20 times. We're running about 40 times. So we're doing
Well-
probably a 60-40 split of run pass.
that's very good news for Jalen, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, it's great news. It'll help keep the turnovers
He is
completely almost
he
gone.
is a great 20 or less quarterback. And I don't mean that in a negative sense, because if the Eagles are able to manage the game, it's like when we were talking about with Malik Willis, right? If you got Malik Willis throwing the ball more than 17 times, Green Bay's in trouble. And that's just because that's not who Malik Willis is in this offense. Jalen Hurts should be throwing the ball anywhere between 18 to 22 times. You're hoping for that 18-22, 16-23 split, right? If you're seeing more than that, like you're just giving Jalen the opportunity to be interception, Jalen.
I think this
Or play
this
hero
past
ball,
weekend-
we'll call it.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that hero
exactly.
ball
There, yeah, we'll play. Yeah,
This past-
because it's too strong to say mistakes.
game. Sorry.
That's
No,
right.
you're good. Sunday he was 16 of 20. It's an 80% completion rate. Like
Yeah,
that's the highest completion rate in a single game for his career.
Yep.
Now, granted, and he had over 230 yards. He had a touchdown. He had 3 rushing touchdowns.
Jared Goff had 85 yards and 3 touchdowns. So
Yeah, so it doesn't really the air yards don't.
Yeah,
It doesn't really.
Oh, you didn't play the third quarter. No, you don't get how awesome that fucking stat is. I don't
Well,
like.
and that's the other thing.
I mean,
I'm not mad at him.
no, that's
I'm
fucking-
mad at him.
That's fucking sweet.
And that's the other thing. This is the first time. These back-to-back weeks against the Giants and the Bengals are the first time since 2022 that we've rested all of our starters in the fourth quarter. So these guys have essentially gotten these starters have essentially gotten 2 full quarters of
Hey,
rest.
we got to rest
between
Jordan
the
Love
last-
in the second half. You
It's
know
true.
exactly
It's
how you
nice. It's fucking fantastic.
Not intentionally.
feel. We won
Yeah,
on
no, you
another
guys-
last-second field goal, and somehow we moved up in the power rankings. People must be seeing something I'm not. And
Hey, McManus is
It's the
saving you
potential.
guys right now.
It is Charles.
got
What
a
do we
kicker.
say? It is Money McManus.
yeah, Money McManus Mondays. That's
I'm
what
like,
we-
he's
Yeah,
helping me in
I-
my other league.
Yeah, 12 fantasy points or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Listen,
think
man,
right now-
when your kicker makes more than your wide receiver 2 on fantasy, there's a problem.
Hey, it is what
Yeah,
it is.
That is a problem.
For a while, when
Bro,
they had
you know what?
Jansen back in the day, he had 27 fantasy points because the Lions kicked like 8 field goals in a game.
Pick 3
My
fantasy. Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, Mike. Pick 3 offensive fantasy players from your team, right? Pick the 3 offensive fantasy players from your team. So, if who's going to score the most points? Is there 3 for Philadelphia from the Eagles? Who would they be?
Oh yeah, Saquon, AJ, and Jalen.
Jalen. Easy peasy. Bears, go.
Swift.
I love you. I'm sorry. I love you. Okay, so there's another thing. So at the start of the year, the Green Bay Packers didn't have this. And this is something why I'm starting to trust the offense. Now Green Bay has this. You're talking Jordan Love. He's getting you a solid
Love
17
Jacobs and
to
Dobbs. Yeah.
17 to 24. You got Jacobs. You got Reed and Dobbs. I mean,
And you have a tight
Kraft.
end.
Is it,
Tucker-
you guys
Tucker
still have
Kraft
Watson too,
Kraft
right?
every now and then.
yeah,
will
Tucker
get you-
Tucker Kraft, yeah, Christian Watson, but he's not a guarantee, right? You're not starting. I'm talking about fantasy starters, right? Who are you comfortable
Kraft is
starting?
Probably a flex 9 times out of 10.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because,
flex.
You probably have a solid tight end.
But at the start of the year, no.
I think Kraft is number 2.
Jordan Love at best.
But
When
But
Jordan
at the beginning,
and Jacobs
Kraft
maybe.
wasn't a high draft pick or a high
Yeah.
fantasy.
He
No.
said right now. He said
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Right now, yes, Kraft is probably one of the top
Yeah.
5 tight ends.
But it's something that allows you to. It's another indicator for me about a good football team, because you can't have those question marks per se and be explosive consistently.
Yeah.
I think PR's, and I love you to death, but your biggest mistake this year was 3 Bears starters. That's I think in our league. I'm not just.
Oh, they don't always
specifically.
start. Just every now and then.
No, and I
But
just.
yeah, he's saying 3 Bears period.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
It's because it was the same thing had I picked like 3 Green Bay Packers. It's not because I'm a fan. It's because that offense wasn't spotlit, right? Like there wasn't that guaranteed targets, right? Romeo's getting 7 targets a game right now, and probably more. That's projecting upwards. That's glorious. Jaden's 6+ every game, right? Like in all
Yeah.
these little hands-off things. So it's a huge tell. And Philadelphia was one of the easiest ones. It's what brought it to my mind, right? Like you're picking AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, fucking, and Jalen
Jalen
Hurts
Hurts,
just
and,
100% of the time.
So how upset
Yeah.
were you, Mike, when I drafted Saquon Barkley? I just want to reiterate that again.
Oh, I dumped out a bottle of coquito and was really pissed off at you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And he's
So,
been great on my team. Just by the way.
But back to the top 10.
Yeah.
So we're going to take Washington out. I like that. Baltimore's at 6. So we have 7, 8, 9, and 10. So hit us again, Patrick. Sorry about that. It was just it was a super interesting moment.
What do we need? We got Washington, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and then the Eagles.
Okay, so we're going to put the Eagles at 7.
Okay.
No, I'm very comfortable putting the Eagles
Yeah.
at 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so now who is 11, 12, 13?
Atlanta at 5 and 3. That's a fake one. I would put even a San Francisco 49ers at 12 at 4 and 4. I would still put them above Atlanta.
I could see them at 10, if any, at best right now.
I
Yeah.
don't know about
At
San
10,
Francisco.
absolutely.
I don't without them being completely healthy.
Christian
I think I like them at
Christian
10.
McCaffrey's coming back next week.
Yeah,
Is he coming
CMC's
back?
coming back.
Yeah.
He's
They're
supposed to play next week.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge difference.
And then
But
you've
they
got-
are
all right.
still. They did lose. What's his nuts?
Ayuk.
Ayuk for the year.
All
But
right,
I think
here's 13 through 15. Tampa Bay 4 and 4, Seattle 4 and 4, and then Chicago 4 and 3.
I can do Tampa Bay. I could still trust them to make a playoff push.
Tampa Bay did not have. They played very well without having a number
That's what I'm saying.
one
Without
fucking
having
wide
Godwin and
receiver
Evans, they
last
did okay.
week.
Otten showed up.
Cade Otton, Charles,
That man
you got him
showed
as
up.
well.
Shut up, Charles. We
Yeah,
know.
dude. If there's one thing Baker Mayfield is good at, it's improvising without weapons.
Yeah.
And he made
Yep.
it. He made it work. I would at 10. I would either put Tampa Bay or San Francisco. At
Tampa
10.
Bay is a team that
So why
they
don't
make
we
the
do-
playoffs, I wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah,
Or
why
you
don't we
can
do
put San
San
Francisco
Francisco at 9, Tampa Bay at 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
still need 8.
Can you give me 1 through 6? Me 6 back down again. With
So
the new order?
right with the new one or the old one?
So
the
you
new
dropped
order.
the Texans completely out.
Yeah,
Since
yeah,
that
yeah.
8.
We got Baltimore at 6.
Baltimore at 6, Philadelphia at 7, blank 8, 49ers 9, Tampa
So
Bay
do
10.
Yeah,
Washington
we dropped the Commanders and the Houston Texans completely out of
Yeah.
the top.
I
Do
think.
we
I think
revisit?
you could,
Do we revisit one of those two?
What about
Washington?
Minnesota?
As of right now,
Washington.
to you as okay. Because again, Houston lost Stephon Diggs, which is their number 1, but they still have Nico coming back.
Okay, here we go. Head to
get-
head. Minnesota, Washington. Who wins?
I
Washington.
would probably say Washington.
Washington.
I think Minnesota.
Right now, the way that Minnesota is playing, I
All right,
take
well then
Washington.
that answers it. I think the only two that were available to be taken, arguably, would be
they
Washington,
just
Minnesota.
lost to a beat up Rams team. I mean,
No, the Rams were healthy.
They got Puka and Cutback.
They got Puka, Cutback, Kyron Williams, Matt Stafford,
that
their
offense
offensive
was
line.
cooking.
Yeah, for the first time all season, they were healthy.
Their whole
And they might have a defensive rookie of the year candidate.
Here's the
Jared
kicker.
Verse, too.
Actually, I want to put the Rams on this list.
So we move everybody up and put them
Just
at 10.
move
Take-
everyone up
take-
and put 49ers 8, Tampa Bay 9.
you're putting a 3 and 4 football team up there.
Their schedule and everything. Yeah, they're getting healthy, man.
They're getting healthy.
They're getting
I'm like,
healthy.
we're
I think you could.
I mean,
the
here's
defenses.
There could be a solid argument to put them at 10 or 11.
49ers versus Washington. Who wins?
If they're healthy, the
As of
49ers.
right now, with the team set up the way they are right now,
Seattle.
you said the Rams and the 49ers?
Well, no, it's 49ers
No,
versus
Rams
Washington.
49ers, Washington. I think Washington takes that.
I don't.
It's 'cause they beat you on the home,
Washington's
No, fuck
Washington's offense isn't good enough to beat San Francisco's defense.
That's what I think. I don't think Washington's offense is. They just put an empty 49ers just put 28 down. Who the hell did they just play?
Dallas.
Dallas. There you go. They suck it.
And almost lost.
Yeah, but
Almost.
it's
Come on.
different.
I
Like
hear you. Win's a win. The win.
the biggest issue is that Jaden Daniels. How many touchdowns did he throw in that game?
One.
Yeah.
No, 0.
Yeah.
One.
He didn't throw a single touchdown during the 60 minutes of football played.
The 49ers have a
The
tough
touchdown
year.
occurred
Something up.
after
The
60
stat line
minutes.
still says touchdown. So
Cheaters.
if
What's
you
that, Pat?
call it what you want.
The 49ers are only going to play one team with a losing record the rest of the season.
Yeah, they got it brutal. The 49ers got it
they've
rough.
got Seattle, Green Bay, Buffalo, Chicago, the Rams, Miami.
And Seattle's playing without
two
DK.
games.
Okay, honestly,
Detroit.
if you take the 49ers out, you put the Rams in.
I think if CMC comes back, they're going to go on a tear. I just say that's a pretty brutal schedule.
I don't.
I well know that.
I don't think they're going to go on a tear. I think they're going to finish 10-7.
I think they're going to ease CMC back in anyway. I don't think he's going to be running the ball 35 times a game.
Yeah, you're not
It'll
going
be-
to with
it'll
What
probably
the
be
fuck
tendinitis.
are you
Yeah.
guys talking about? This is Kyle fucking Shanahan.
He's gonna run the shit out that ball.
CMC's gonna get that fuck ball 36
He's gonna get
times.
that ball at least 25, 30 times a game.
30,
He's
he's
gonna
gonna
get
get
the ball
20
at least
rushes and 16 targets in the passing. Yes, absolutely.
He's going to do that the first game, and then both of his calves are going to have tendinitis again. And then
It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that South Park episode when the dude got what was it called, the Negroplasty. You guys remember that South Park episode?
Yeah.
He just fucking
That's
jumps
funny.
up and the
You run
knees
around with a box
explode.
of, Lucky Charms. You got me Lucky Charms.
Yeah, you
I'll
can't.
be a real basketball player.
This dude's injuries were bad enough that he had to go to Germany to get medical
Yeah.
research done to figure out how to
I don't know.
fix the stuff.
That's Kyle
But
Shanahan.
you can't put 35 carries on him his first game back when he hasn't played a single game in the regular season. Like,
Right. I agree
Hold on
with
a
that.
second.
I
Hold
agree.
on a
That would be
Hold on a second,
Tua
hold on
should
a
have
second.
came back and played, but
Hold
here
on
we
a
are.
second. What the fuck are you talking about? This is not the National Nurses Football League. Okay, this is the National Football League. What the fuck are we talking about here?
Charles is going to say this. We're going to turn around. The dude's going to get 40 fucking carries and 232 yards and go, fucking
yeah,
told you.
probably.
It's the NFL. Was Tua
Can we
eased in this
expect
week?
anything else?
Was
And I
Tua
can
eased in
guarantee
this
you
week?
Monday, 'cause it's a-
Hell no, he wasn't eased into
Hell
this week.
no.
He went full in.
That motherfucker took
No
off
guardian cap.
sprinting and everything. The
Now,
only
let me ask
difference
you this
to it
question.
though,
When
he
he
ain't
took
making
off
it.
running, how many of y'all were holding y'all breath?
Fuck no. I was like, hell yeah, make
I
that money,
was,
bro.
I was like, I do
Here
not
we
want
go
to see this
again.
dude.
If he
I
gets
was
hurt
like,
in the
man, I
NFL,
do
he
not-
makes more.
I do
Before we
not
get
want to
into-
see somebody lying on the field brain dead. That's
No,
not
no,
what
no,
we
no,
need
no.
right
Well, we
now.
did that already 2 years ago.
All right, before we
Well,
get
DeMar
into,
Hamlin,
before
yeah,
we
sure.
forget about this, before we get into Mike's recaps here for his first picks, let's go through the first round real quick of this all-time greatest athlete bracket here. Let's get through the first round here so that I can write these down.
I already hate it.
You already hate it? That's fine.
How is Babe Ruth 6?
Well, because there is 16 athletes on there.
Katie Ledecky's 10 and Babe Ruth is 16.
It doesn't
Don't get me
matter
wrong.
it does not matter where they are. It's all about we're just gonna pick we're gonna go through the first round. here.
You already know
It
what
wouldn't
my
matter. Babe Ruth's losing to MJ anyway.
Yeah, that's not happening. No,
I got Babe Ruth.
You're a fuck.
Babe Ruth had a bigger impact.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I'm just
No.
saying. It's
Eating
3-1 anyways. It
eating
doesn't
hot
matter.
dogs and
This
getting
list is
syphilis,
this list is
that's all
trash.
Babe Ruth
It should be Michael Jordan versus Katie Ledecky, but whatever.
Michael Jordan versus Katie Ledecky. Anyway, this is it.
Hey,
This is
maybe we'll try to get another
That's
universe.
the most decorated Olympic swim. All right, awesome, cool.
All right, let's just go through quick. All right,
Michael Jordan.
LeBron or Messi? I think we already know what this one's coming out.
I'm gonna go Messi.
I say
Messi
two.
9.
Charles, just stop
Messi.
worried about the rankings.
You know who I am. There's no way. There's no way. You should have looked at this list and knew this was going to happen.
All right,
I might not even. My vote might not even count. I'm just going to
Who
scream
you
that
picking?
shit.
All right,
Messi or James?
Phelps or
I'm picking
Serena?
Messi. Fucking 9. Jesus.
Who you picking, Patrick?
We got Messi.
It's 3-1, so it doesn't
All
matter.
right, Phelps or Serena?
Oh,
Serena.
They got Serena at 12.
The whole time, Charles is
They
like,
got fucking Serena at 12.
I think I got to go with Phelps.
But they got Katie at 10.
it's Phelps.
Hold on, you got Phelps over Serena Williams? There's
I'm
no
taking
fucking
Serena.
way.
I'm taking Serena. Taking
I
the
gotta-
12th the best player after all time. Serena Williams. Fuck crazy tennis player
Yeah.
all fucking time.
Okay,
Who you got?
I got
Keon?
Phelps.
You got Phelps?
You
So
both
2-2.
got Phelps,
Yeah.
Mr. Olympian.
Yeah. I guess the highest seed is the tiebreaker. That's just what we'll do. Sorry,
All right,
Serena.
all right.
Yeah,
All right.
sorry.
Take it
Yeah.
up with whoever make it
Take
up.
it up with
right.
whoever made this dumbass
see-
list.
Usain Bolt or Roger Federer?
Ooh,
You got
I'm
Usain
going
Bolt
Bolt.
at 4, but Serena Williams at 12.
Yeah.
You're
I guess
you're
tennis is
upset.
not that important.
I didn't make the list. Obviously, this is why we're going through this because we want to. They went through this already, and I want to see how close we get it.
Okay, I was gonna say, listen, I love Usain Bolt. That
I think I'm gonna go
dude
with
is a
Federer on this
dude.
one.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah, I gotta
Federer.
go with Federer on this one. The other dude did the fucking Forrest Gump.
just winning all the time.
It's
Oh,
just
boy.
fucking just ran fast.
I
That's
think we
it.
already know this one: Simone Biles or Deion Sanders.
How
Deion.
the fuck you got Simone Biles at 6, but Deion Sanders at 11?
Because
Yeah.
this is ranked all-time athlete compared to what they've done for their sport.
After
Did
you took a
arguably,
handful
did
of
Deion
mushrooms.
do anything crazy for football other than being prime time?
Yeah.
I gotta go Simone Biles.
Oh yeah,
he
oh
didn't.
yeah. What? How many
Gold medals does
sports?
she have?
No, how many sports does Simone Biles
It
play
doesn't matter. How many
Yeah,
gold
exactly.
medals does she have?
professionally? It does.
No,
too.
no. It
I
absolutely
said Deion.
matters.
Okay, so how many?
Dion has the
championships does Deion
Colorado
have?
football team 6-2 with a chance to
They're
be
in
in the
the Big
playoffs.
12.
You're not. They don't have a chance to get.
They're in the Big 12.
They got a 6% chance.
They're in the Big 12. Calm down.
I got Dion. I got
All
Dion.
right, I got Dion as well.
I'm going Deion too. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
That's fine. I'm not upset at this.
That's
list.
because
It's stupid anyway.
that's because Owens is on the Bears. We get the fuck out of here.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Here's one that doesn't make any sense. How is Bo Jackson a 3 and Patrick Mahomes a 14? Because Bo Jackson didn't even finish his career.
How is
He barely
Patrick
started
Mahomes on this list, but Tom Brady isn't?
That is a valid
Because
question.
they probably put Babe Ruth on there instead. Yeah,
I
Patrick.
still would have had Tom
This is-
Brady over
this
Babe
is-
Ruth.
Yeah,
This is
I
what
would
I
have
was
took
Tom Brady over
Ruth.
Patrick
All
Mahomes.
right, well, we're gonna put fuck us. Then we're gonna put Bo Jackson in, and we're gonna put Bo Jackson / Tom Brady.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Who made this list?
a jackass.
Actually, this list came from I think FanDuel.
Idiots.
Jackasses.
Wayne Gretzky.
Idiots.
I stand with my statement earlier.
Idiots.
Jackasses.
Jackasses.
Wayne Gretzky versus fucking Wayne Gretzky.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Seven?
there's no contest there. And then Muhammad Ali versus Tiger Woods, you gotta go Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad
And you
Ali.
got Tiger Woods at 15.
That's criminal. That's diabolical.
What the fuck?
Tiger
is
Woods
wrong
doesn't
with
make my
these
top
people?
20 athletes.
Listen,
This-
listen. My head sweats when I eat pepperoni, but the person who made this list is whiter than I am. I
Oh,
fucking
for
promise
sure.
There's
that.
no way. Why would you? This is. The
I
thing.
110% promise.
Without
this.
Tiger Woods, golf wouldn't be what it is. Let's just.
Period.
Period.
Baseball wouldn't be what it is without Babe Ruth, and then
Yeah.
of course the steroids.
But
Well,
to put
yeah,
him
there's that.
against one of the greatest, if not the greatest boxer of all, that is diabolical.
Obviously, Muhammad Ali moved
Right,
forward.
but that
Yeah,
is-
you gotta
that is-
take Muhammad
Yeah,
Ali.
yeah, I got it. So we,
diabolical.
all right,
Even if Tiger
recap.
Woods was 5.
We've got MJ, Messi,
Oh my God, I'd be
Phelps,
fucked up in the head to put Tiger
Roger
Woods.
Federer, Deion Sanders.
Bro, I
and
went through a lot of
Patrick
people.
Mahomes, scratch you, Tom Brady, Wayne Gretzky, and Muhammad Ali.
So is FanDuel saying that Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT already?
You put me
I'm
through a lot of
assuming that-
emotions there. I'm screaming about
Can we
people eating a
put the
handful of
list back up for a
mushrooms.
second?
I love it. I love it. Hey,
That
viral
fucking
video.
guy's got to be whiter than I am.
Can we put the list back up for like 2
There
seconds?
wasn't one matchup where Charles wasn't disgruntled and pissed off.
Just fucking angry right away.
One.
Patrick, can we put the list back up just one more time? I just got to read
Listen,
this.
I'm not perfect, but
Charles
what the
can yell at
fuck?
the-
Okay, it's okay.
He's in
So,
right.
Charles, let me
All right.
ask you a very subjective question.
Go on.
If you had to pick 2 out of these matchups that don't make fucking sense to you, which 2 are you going with?
7 and 10, 6 and 11. 1 and 16, 8 and 9, 5 and 12, 4 and
said
13,
2.
So the whole
3 and
list.
14,
Every
2 and
single
15.
one of them. Every
Fucking
one.
every single one of them.
You don't follow instructions very well.
No, yeah.
Hey, you asked an honest opinion.
I'm
He-
no
he
sheep.
just started listening. You
I'm
know,
no sheep.
Yeah.
next to him.
I ain't
They're all
nobody
wrong.
bitch.
No sheep. All right. I'm definitely not dumb enough to make that fucking list. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
You should create one, Charles, and put it on the show next week.
See, that is some cookie cutter vanilla bullshit right there. That whoever made that, it's
As
like,
I said, yeah.
you just took it and you said, "Here, I'm
The
going to
fact
piss
that you
as
put
many
Patrick
people off."
Mahomes and not Tom Brady. That
Seriously,
is some
yeah.
biased
But
shit right
you
there.
want to know what's
I don't-
funny?
From mushrooms, pepperonis make my head sweat.
What's
White-
funny is everybody's
What's
going to
funny
argue
is-
just like Charles about it. They're going to be pissed.
Yeah, what the
The
fuck?
graphics department,
Stupid.
whoever for FanDuel, that probably took them 6 hours to make that graphic.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
It was
They
Six
fucking
worked
hours
on
of
it.
shit.
They worked on it for like probably a week.
Yeah.
And and Charles pissed on it in 15 seconds.
He used it to wipe his ass with.
Yeah, we wiped our
And-
ass with it.
Very deservedly, that list was retarded.
Well, I mean, for one, how do you have MJ 1 but LeBron 8? And I'm not a LeBron fan, but like what?
why.
But what fucking scale did you use?
Well, for one, why do you have 2 basketball players on there when you want it to be the greatest athlete of all time?
Yeah.
Now you're comparing athlete to athlete. If they end up making it, then you make that judgment.
And
call.
there's no way you could, if you want the
If
greatest
you would have
athlete
put
of all time,
Michael or LeBron,
you cannot
on the
have.
fire. And I bet you, I put a whole $100 that they put a LeBron James over Messi so they can get a Michael Jordan LeBron debate to go on to the next
Yep.
round.
You know
I
you're gonna have
put
that trigger.
$100.
For sure.
They did that on purpose.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That whole list was diabolically just.
I just don't understand the scale. Okay, Michael Jordan,
What are the
the
merits?
better
that
basketball
people-
player, but the global
There's no
reach of
merit to
LeBron
it
James,
whatsoever.
yeah, it's just seriously. You went to literally on your way to fucking Waffle House in Florida. You were like, hey, find the first Florida man and have him blindly pick these numbers, and that's where we're gonna put him.
We got the Florida man list.
We
Fucking
did a lottery.
Bullshit.
fucking FanDuel. Just stick to your gambling. Holy
And
spit.
Yeah, that
you're
was
barely, and
trash.
you're barely good at that.
Anybody who gambles on FanDuel and then listens to their experts, you're already in trouble.
So I guess we
Rock
should
and
just
rock.
we should just kiss a FanDuel sponsorship goodbye.
Or maybe they should reach out to us. We can help
I
them.
feel like we can make a better list.
I don't know. I guess the people they're hiring is doing the right thing.
They're making money. They're making
I
people
have a
money.
gambling thing. I don't want you to make money. I want my people telling you. The hardest part about the ESPN bet thing probably is like you can't be an idiot on the air and expect to continue to make money in the future.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to find that happy medium. So
The list did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm not
It
condoning
got us
betting,
talking. Yeah.
All right, are we going to go through the NFL this week then?
Yeah, this is really unfortunate for someone, but we'll get them through this.
Charles.
So Mike's coming in with a win. He had Bills versus Seahawks, 31-14 for that final, and I believe that wasn't super far off. Bills Seahawks 31-10.
So not super off.
That was pretty far. You did go over. Let's be honest. Come on.
2-0.
Yeah, of course.
You gotta be closest without going over. Everyone knows the
Closest without going over.
rules. The price is right,
Amazing.
motherfucker. Not the price is wrong. Okay.
Price is wrong.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
Okay, a W is a W. All right, so then
Yep.
we had literally the absolute hardest matchup of the fucking week with Patrick having the Detroit versus the fucking Titans. We better have sent goddamn Mike a Christmas gift this year.
Should have just said 70-15 or something.
Yeah, you had 34-13. You were kind of close.
I got the second score right closer.
And you didn't go over, so you're winning right now.
Definitely did not.
So 34-14, the actual score ended up being 52-14.
That is embarrassing.
I'm about
He's
done
still
hearing
only out
that.
by 20
The
points and almost
Titans-
got the second score correct.
How is it the Lions have had two of the highest scoring games in the season?
Because they played the Titans and the fucking Cowboys. The Titans have the number 5 defense in the league. They played the Bears week 1 and have had a fucking inflation ever since then. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I mean, I'm being honest. It's
A roller coaster over there.
the statistics are really hard to F off when they're that far in your favor to start the matchup. Like, things will start tapering off. So then was the more difficult choice. You had the Bears versus the Commanders. Charles picked the Commanders to win, score being 24-13. I believe the final on that
18-15.
18-15. Yeah, I was a little hairy on that one, but yeah, 18.
Thank you for reminding me.
Hey man, you got my back, Jack. I love it. And then, unfortunately, the only loss goes to fucking Paul, who had the Bucks-Falcons game. He had the Bucks picked to win 29-27, and the score ended up being Falcons winning that one 31-26.
It's all right.
So-
I'll bounce back.
You get you get to pick who you're picking for, and you get the first pick. So,
All right. Let me venture off.
and then we'll start the trade from however you pick. Who are you picking for?
I'm gonna pick for you.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
But you said to keep it spicy.
Damn
Spicy.
right.
So
Damn
keep
right.
it spicy. So
Damn
I think this is gonna be a better game than what we think.
Well, right now the scores stand as is. Chuck 3-1, Paul 2-2, Pat 3-1, Mike, who did miss one there but is coming in strong at 2-0. So well done.
I think this is gonna be a better game than people think,
Okay.
just because of the changes in personnel.
All right.
Chargers and Browns.
Ooh. Yeah, that is a spicy one. All right, let me go ahead and write this down. You guys start discussing while I pull up numbers.
I think Jameis Winston.
Chargers.
I think,
Chargers,
and they're
bro.
playing in Cleveland,
Yeah.
so they're playing they're playing in the dog pound. I think Cleveland is their defense is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible. Yes.
Tickets as low as $23.
But I think
It's
they are
always
who
the
they
thing
are.
that pops up when you pick up the team.
But it's something about Jameis Winston. He is able to.
I
get that
pray
he's
so
mediocre.
hard that listen, I pray so hard that he makes it in the league. That dude,
He's such
He
a
is
good guy.
he is a good guy.
dude.
Genuinely, as a human being, I would
Yeah.
love to just hang around with him all the time.
I hope
It's
one
just
day
nothing-
to
Is
have
it
a
the shitty
conversation.
thing that he's known
Yeah.
as the 30-30 guy or whatever? That's like the
Yeah.
it's always gonna
It's
stick
like
with
he's
him.
never upset. Like he's never in
Yeah.
like this foul mood, win, lose,
No,
whatever the case
seriously.
is. Like
He's the
this guy
greatest
is-
worst quarterback
He's
we've
the
ever seen.
most positive.
But like when he's in that huddle talking to his guys,
It's true.
some of his speeches
He's
makes some of his
greatest worst.
speeches makes
His
no sense.
personality's got to give us a little more than that. Yeah,
Some of his speeches
Yeah.
makes no goddamn sense.
yeah,
none.
yeah.
Did you
But it's
see
like,
Kirk
represent
Cousins
the name
like
on your back.
after the
He
game?
just
Represent the
draws
name on
you
your
in.
helmet. We ain't got no decals. We just represent the Browns.
Like it's
Yeah.
just he's so out of it. But it's
Browns
you-
can go back to paper bag.
How
and
do
it
you
again
hate the
anytime
guy?
now. We don't care.
Okay, so Moneyline has the Chargers minus 130. Bet 130 to win 100. Browns
Yep.
plus $1.05. Freedom isn't free.
And then
It
over
costs
under
a hefty
42.
fucking fee. If you don't put in your $1.05, who will? Which that means bet 100 to win a $1.05. Spread -2 at the Chargers. So
Yeah.
we're talking a 5-point spread because you get 3 at home, right?
Yep.
Browns +2 over under 42 points. So we're looking at a 22-20 game, more or less. Kind of a flip 'em. Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly the spice I'm talking. Look, I'm sweating. It's like I'm eating pepperoni here. Ooh, I need a
got a
haircut.
little bit of ketchup on
I
it.
need a haircut. Let me try and cover this up. My
very
monk
funny.
hat's coming in. My monk hat's coming in. It's cray. It's cray.
That's hilarious.
So, does the magic of Winston continue,
I don't know.
or the strategy of Harbaugh reign supreme? I believe that would be my storylines.
I believe
$1 million
Quick
question you
Williams
got
or
there,
whatever
buddy.
his name is going to be healthy again.
What's that?
I believe their wide receiver Williams is going to be healthy. I believe he was questionable last week. I think he played.
Interesting.
Should be back.
You got to
gives him
remember
another
too,
weapon.
the Chargers still have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on their defense, so that defense.
No, Chargers
is
are
legit.
playing. I was just sitting thinking back, and like the Chargers have not had a crazy 30-17 game. It's been defensive battles.
27-10, 26-3 were two victories. They lost to Pittsburgh by 10, 17-10 to KC, 23-16 over Denver, 17-15 over Arizona, and 26-8 last week over New Orleans. They're
Which is
very
a win.
consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do. I like, and this does scream to me another one of those scenarios.
It's going to be a low scoring game.
Yeah, I like the Chargers in this one. I do. I don't think it's going to be a low scoring game. The over under is 42. I like the over in this one.
42 under too.
Yeah, I like the over in this one. I'm going to say 28-17. 28-17. That's what I'm going to say. 28-17 Chargers.
Nice.
Okay, and how I'm going to play this next, I've just decided. I had to play chess in my own mind there for a second. I was like, I need to pick for Mike because he picked an easy one for Patrick. But then I was like, no, I need to pick for Patrick. And then I was like, wait, but if I pick for Patrick, he'll remember that Mike gave him Detroit versus Tennessee and then probably slide another easy one down. So no, I'm going to pick for Mike, and then Mike is going to have a repick for Patrick this week because we'll see if we've got this spice figured out. All right, here we go. So I'm going to look at the games right now.
It's chess, not checkers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Man, you got to sift through the cripple fights here. Holy cow.
There's a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
The cripple fights. Actually, the one that is blowing my mind right now is the Thursday night game. The fact that the Jets are favored in that game. At least the one that I see as the Jets is a 2-point favorite at home.
Yep.
Are you seeing the same thing I am, which doesn't make any sense to you?
That's what I wrote down this afternoon.
Isn't that crazy? It's nuts.
I don't know how you would favor the Jets over anybody except the Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints right now.
That game smells, if I'm a bettor, completely stay the fuck away from that game.
Oh, 100%.
That game smells dirty as hell.
Looking at it, I just want to slap somebody.
Yeah, the way that the Jets have been playing, you're seriously
Rams,
think they're better than the
Seahawks.
Texans? Yeah.
Ooh.
Rams, Seahawks, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the over-under on that one?
I've got that pulled up. I'm glad you asked. I've got that
48
pulled
and a
up.
half.
47 and a half. I've got the spread.
Okay.
Rams plus one
Minus
and a half.
1.5.
Yep. Seahawks are minus 1.5. Rams are at a hundo. Bet 100 to win 100. Seahawks are minus 120. Bet 120 to win 100. So Seahawks are favored in this by a little bit, which is wild because I believe it's, if I looked at that correctly, it's the Rams at the Seahawks.
Correct.
So they're at home, which gives them 3, but they're only favored by 1.5 here.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
The Rams
So I'm
are
gonna go-
healthy.
They don't
You
have
said
DK.
40. You said 47 and a half.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm going Rams. 7.5. Let's do. I'm going to go over and do 35-14 Rams.
35-14 Rams.
You're not even giving Gino a chance.
Ooh.
No, the way he played last week, and their defense is not fantastic, and you don't have DK.
Was it say? Are we confirming DK still isn't there?
He's saying he's listed as doubtful.
Okay,
So
that's early in the week to have a doubtful tag already.
he had it since 2 weeks ago.
No, I'm saying that it hasn't changed to questionable. Doesn't
No,
look good.
it's still doubtful right now.
Yeah.
And that's your knee, and I'm gonna assume you need that as a receiver.
Well,
more
if
than
you want,
anything.
well, and he's proud. And what I mean by that is if he can't run 21 on an open field, he's not going to be playing because he's going to get gunned, and then he'll get a text message from Tyreek Hill reminding him that he's not the fastest person in the league, and I think that'll piss him off. Yeah, I think that'll piss him off. We don't want that. Okay, so Mike's going to pick for Patrick, and that means Patrick will pick for ER.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Okay. I am trying
Don't
to,
be
again, not give you the cripple fights where people are favored by 9 or 7.5. Because good Lord.
Good luck with
I'll tell you what. You know what? This one's a little bit difficult. Bears at Arizona. Bears are favored by 1 point.
There we go. I like that.
Over-unders 44.5.
Chicago at Arizona.
44 and a half. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
In Arizona, this is this 3:00 game.
Yeah.
This is the CBS is taking over this game. It should be an AFC game, but it's an NFC game, which is weird.
It's 2 weeks in a row, and I don't understand it.
The fact that tickets are going for $1.58 means a lot of people must want to see Caleb Williams
versus
Like
Kyler Murray. Yeah.
Two number one picks.
This is another game that I would stay away from if I was a bettor too, because this is probably going to be a field goal game at the end of it. The fact that the total is 44 or 45.
That's what blew my mind. I was like, you're putting 44.5 points on this game? You're crazy.
22-22.
But the problem is
23.
This is a desperation game for the Bears. The Bears desperately need this game way more than the Cardinals probably need it. I can see Caleb Williams. I can see Caleb Williams actually having a pretty decent game. Arizona's defense is middle of the pack. I can see the Bears defense taking this game over and beating Kyler Murray into the ground, maybe 4 sacks. This is gonna be Bears 24, Cardinals 20.
Damn.
I can see that.
Oh, that's gonna hurt my heart.
Yeah, especially when I get to come in laughing at all y'all picking the Bears to win a game. That's fuck crazy.
I didn't say that.
I honestly, I didn't think they were going to have the Bears favored going into Arizona. I was like, wow. But
the Arizona Cardinals pass defense right now is ranked 9th in the NFL. They're holding opponents to under 100 yards in net passing in recent games.
Yeah.
So that does not bode well for Caleb Williams. I just want to iron this path completely. Tennessee was the team that gave him a lot of Tennessee's defense. Forgive me for utilizing the word team.
Yeah.
The only upside is that their overall yards per game allowed, they're 27th.
Yes. Yeah, total defense. Yeah, because they're giving up a lot on the run.
And you've got DeAndre Swift coming out of the backfield.
That's
and Roschon.
Fantastic. But you have a terrible offensive line.
That part.
You're not going to run.
Game? Yeah, but Arizona's defensive line isn't any better than Chicago's.
But their rush defense is 7th, I believe.
Means that it is much better.
It's better than ours.
I think it's going to be tough for the Bears to score 18 points, and Kyler Murray's going to put up 21. I think that's what it comes down to.
There's a distinct possibility that you're 100% right. This could be a game where the Cardinals come in and stomp the Bears.
Good pass defenses have given Caleb trouble right now, and they're supposed to because he's a rookie coming from the Pac-12. They're supposed to. He didn't even see college-style defenses.
Now the only thing that I could say is for our offense on both sides, we're at the bottom half of it for both sides.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray he's throwing okay, but he's not
he's not lighting shit up. Yeah,
and neither is Caleb.
Had one of his best games of the fucking year against me.
This might be a low scoring, running, beat the shit out of each other.
James Conner is projected to make some fucking points this game. I think he's at 17-5. That's like Derrick Henry numbers.
We're gonna see. It's gonna be interesting.
Oh, I gotta tell you guys my biggest mistake this week because I'm so pissed at myself for fucking fantasy. It cost me this game. I fucking sat Bo Nix.
I saw that.
And he fucking had 32 points.
Bro, you can't be mad at yourself. When would you ever play Bo Nix?
I picked him up just because
you got 3 quarterbacks. Bo Nix is not the top on that choice.
I was just like, fuck, man. Because I figured
You got Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, and Bo Nix. You are not picking Bo Nix any day of the week.
I couldn't, dude. I couldn't. Cincinnati
No.
was playing against the Eagles. I couldn't start Joe Burrow. Just couldn't do
Right.
it.
So Jaden
And
Daniels
Bo
or
Nix
Bo
versus
Nix?
Jaden Daniels. Yeah, I take Jaden Daniels all
you can't
day.
even. Yeah. That's one of those. You ran into an exact situation that Patrick ran into. You guys can't be mad at yourselves. Who the fuck's
Speaking of
sorry?
unfortunate situations that I didn't want to put you in here, Paul, I'm giving you Texans Jets on tomorrow night.
You're a dick.
Yeah,
The game nobody wanted to pick.
Honestly, it's either that or the Packers Lions game.
The Packer line game to me is going to probably be lopsided in one way or another.
I don't think so, but I love that.
I think it's going to be way more competitive than you think, Pat.
I'm hoping for
yeah.
it. That's why I said that.
Yeah, good. There's yeah. This is
But
the
I don't think
NFL.
this game is going to be competitive at all. I think this game might be a complete
No, I
ass
think
whipping.
the Jets have been playing
30
their
straight
defense
games
is
for
trash.
Aaron Rodgers without a
Yeah.
300-yard passing game.
He's still without one, right? He had
30
280.
straight.
You said
30
30
games.
straight.
Longest
Wow.
streak of an NFL career. Longest
That's
also
insane.
streak of his career, which I thought
seasons,
those
pretty
two
soon.
obviously add
But if you listen
coincide with each
to
other. but
fucking
whatever.
Nick Wright and Colin Cowherd and all these
Well,
other
you think-
motherfuckers,
Honor
Aaron,
He's an MVP candidate right now.
he was gonna bring New York the Super Bowl, and then he got Devontae Adams, and it
That
just,
hasn't done shit.
Nope.
bro, there's nothing that can fix this team. When
New
they
York,
fired Salah,
jersey sales went up.
That's good for
Wow.
them.
Yeah.
Or at least the
When they
owner
fi-
wanted.
It's a
when
good
they
business.
fired Salah midway through the season, I
Who's
was
now
like, yeah,
officially on the Green Bay Packers coaching staff.
yeah, I was like, you guys are dumb as shit. Like now your defense looks like garbage, complete garbage.
Do you realize
Salah's a
the last time Salah was on the sideline as a defensive-minded coach, the 49ers were in the Super Bowl?
Went to the bowl, yeah.
Fuck, dude's a genius.
Interesting.
And the
I don't
Jets,
think-
the
I don't
Jets
think he's a
defense
good-
now are worse without him.
Oh, much worse. I don't think he's a good head coach. I think he's a great defensive
Terrible head
coordinator.
coach. Awful. Probably
Yeah.
one of the worst.
He might, yeah. he
Chip
gets another
Kelly and
chance.
Urban Meyer still existed.
Yeah,
That's
Not
true.
one of the worst.
Fucking
Chip Kelly.
Texas Jets. Texas.
The Jets.
Texans and Jets. Yeah.
We got their per.
Is he going to pick the New Jersey Packers?
New Jersey Packers versus
Or-
the Houston Texans.
There's no way in hell that this dude is picking Aaron Rodgers
Black
to
beans in your chili boy.
At this point, I'm just
makes
picking the
this
score.
it makes this difficult because there's a key factor. This is C.J. Stroud's second year. He's losing a lot of his tools, a lot of his blankets, and the reasoning for this: your kid's under a lot of pressure. Something like 92% of his snaps right now are being pressured. That's the book on C.J.
Well, they figured him out real
Well,
quick.
it's what happened in the Baltimore game, and everyone's, whoa, wait a minute, let's see if this continues. It's what happened to Dallas in the playoffs. Wait a minute, let's see if this continues. It's a copycat league. It's why I fully expect
Funny how trends continue, huh?
I fully expect to see a defensive style similar to that of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first half of this football game. I really do. Against Packers Lions, anyways. Not Texas Jets, sorry.
Yeah, this game's going to come down to whether the fact Mixon can actually run the football.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
Jets have had
he gets
Jets
that
have had
running
an
game
issue.
started. It's going to be a problem.
Jets have had an issue with the run game.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
big
what I
thing.
mean.
You've had everyone knows who Mason is now, but at the time, we've discussed this previously, but at the time, nobody knew who these running backs were. Even Buffalo had
Davis.
come in and run all over them. So I think Mixon put 148 all-purpose yards against Green Bay.
And the Jets don't know who they have as a running back. They got Braylon Allen. They got they just keep throwing the guy out there.
Because Brees Hall's continuously injured. The dude's never
Brees
going
Hall
to stay
can't
healthy.
stay healthy. Braylon Allen has fumble
It's a
issues.
rookie who's
He's a rookie.
there's no man. I have a hard time believing that there's a world where the Jets are beating the Houston Texans right now.
Listen, they've
Are the
lost
Jets-
5 in a row, 6 in
Are
a row.
the Jets now having? Did they catch what the Buffalo Bills had? Are they having an issue with getting receivers open? because that's the problem the Buffalo had, and then now all of a sudden
Well,
Buffalo got.
You mean Devontae
Cooper.
Adams is having problems getting open?
Yeah, apparently Devontae Adams is having problems, or Rodgers is having problems.
No, it's Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers, I don't think Rodgers is seeing the
I
field the
wanted
same
you to
way.
say it.
Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers. The dude, it's gone 30 fucking games without a 300-yard pass.
Yeah,
Without a 300-yard
yeah.
game.
Jameis Winston came in and started for the first time this week and had 300
Yeah,
yards.
340 yards.
Even Caleb Williams has managed 300-yard games.
Did you hear that, Paul? Charles just gave you a compliment.
I've done that
Fuck
a
Aaron
couple of times
Rodgers.
this show. Fucking
Hear
Say
it
it one time.
All right, PR looks
it
like he's
again.
ready.
No,
Here we go.
it's what.
I think I'm gonna go with the Texans.
Drum
but I
roll,
still don't
please.
even think
Okay.
the Texans are gonna blow them out.
Oh,
But I think it's gonna be a big enough space because I know what the over under is 42.
Something like that, yeah.
I'd say I'm gonna say 24-13.
So take the under.
I got a bad feeling about this week, gentlemen.
Who you telling? Fantasy, pick'ems, fairs, everything.
See, so I write all it down, right? I write it all down. It's a little blurry. You'll get there.
We believe you. We believe you.
It's important to see it. If I
Put your hand on the other side of it.
It's green. But
There you go.
anyways, so you see how there's stars,
Yeah.
and you see how on above the line the stars dance back and forth on
Yeah.
the top there. But do you see how all of a sudden the stars just lined up?
The fuck are you talking about?
Hey, let him
Tell
do
you.
what he wants to do here. He's got to get to a
Telling
point
you right
here.
now.
Stars that align.
I believe you, Charles.
We are all about to lose our picks this week.
Not me.
We are about to lose all of our picks. Cleveland's going to win. Seattle's going to win. Arizona's going to win, and the Jets are going to
Winner.
win. I'm telling you this right now. What just happened right now scares the shit out of me.
Wait, it's not happening that way.
I'm telling you. This is the
Because-
universe.
Or we're winning the lottery. If
Or
somebody's
we're in
buying
the
a
lottery.
ticket.
Yeah.
I'll take the lottery. I'm fine.
I mean,
with
it's
that.
like I could go back through my notes. This is the stars have never aligned. Because what happened? I listen. Because how I write, right? It's like you tell me the pick, and then I write it down how I hear it, and then you tell me who wins and the score, and then I put a star over whatever team that was.
You know what that makes me think? That makes me think one of these picks is going to be an exact score.
That's all right. I like that.
I like that.
That
better
would
than
be
the-
interesting.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we've already
that would
done that
be-
once this year.
Pat's already got one of
I
those.
won.
We've done
I
that
got
one,
one.
and we got
I told him
damn
it's a
close
one out
twice.
of one
Nick.
card. That doesn't happen very often. Just
And
treasure
I'm
that
just
one.
saying.
That's not the only time, actually.
Yeah.
I think last year,
Yeah.
you called the game, Pat, and it was a Philly game, and you had it right on the money.
Yeah. I can't tell you what game it is, but if you listen to me all the time, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
And if you bet big
Even a-
all the time,
Even a
the
dumb
one
farmer,
time you
even a
win is
dumb
going to be
farmer
worth
digs
it.
up a potato every now and then.
That's
Listen,
how.
all you need is to
that's
win
how it
one
works.
big game.
Yeah,
One.
if you bet $100 every time, oh, I lost 900, but when you win, you won 12. What you know?
Yeah, I'm only $300 in the hole now.
Oh, how do you know?
Things are
Spend-
looking up.
Spent money is spilt milk, baby. Ain't no point crying over it. You know what I'm saying?
It's gone. It's gone.
No. Unless you
I
got that,
1,200 now, though.
unless you got that receipt and they got a sweet buyback program.
That's funny.
Keeping receipts.
All right, so quick recap here of our stars aligned. Charles got the Chargers versus Cleveland game. He gave you a score of 28-17 Chargers. Mike, Rams Seattle gives you a score of 35-14 Rams. Patrick, Chicago, Arizona, 24-20 Chicago. Paul, Texans, Jets, 24-13 Texans. Well done, kind
Yeah.
sirs. Is there a matchup you're excited about coming up? Just real quick off the top of y'all's head?
I'm like, y'all's matchup against the Lion, I think, is probably going to be the game that everybody's
Is
going to
the
be.
game, yeah.
I think that's the matchup right there, just because of the record, the last couple seasons, just how y'all been playing individually, what's at stake, the division and everything. It's just there's a lot of factors in this matchup this week for y'all, and I think out of all the games, none of them, I think, mount up to the hype, the expectation of what it is and what it can be. Bucks and Chiefs, yeah, that's cool. Meh. Colts, Vikings, Sunday night, yeah, But Lions 6-1, y'all are 6-2. This is the game of the week.
It is hard to. Yeah, you got to ask yourselves what the NFL's thinking.
The Vikings and the Colts Sunday night. That's what you're gonna give us.
What the fuck?
Hey, we're gonna find out if you're right
At least
tomorrow.
with the Bucks and the Chiefs, you get that kind of excitement from Baker and all that stuff. But the
Wednesday,
Colts
right?
and the Vikings is what we're doing for Sunday night.
Do you know what game got flexed out of that spot? It was the Jags at the Eagles got flexed out of that spot.
Still, at what point did
The
you?
Colts from the Vikings.
So
At
you
some
look
point,
at
the
chose.
NFL
That's what you pick.
The NFL needs to look at itself and be like, we
You look
have
at
to market this a little
chose.
bit better.
This is the thing. Even if it was like 3-4 weeks ago, you see the trajectory of what these teams are going, and you see this matchup coming
Joe
in. for week
Flacco
9.
and Sam Bradford was better than Jordan Love and Jared Goff. Somebody sat in a fucking room and went, "Yeah,
This
yeah,
works.
This works." Oh, at the time it was supposed to be
Yeah, I don't wanna hear
Anthony
it.
Richardson and Sam Bradford.
I would like to talk to an NFL executive and find
Sam
out if
Darnold,
there are
whatever
some
the
kind of
fuck his name is.
stipulations that they can't just flex every game and they can't flex this game because of
I know there has to be
media rights.
reasons.
There
and
has to
stuff
be
like
some kind
that.
of
The
rule.
Green Bay
Right,
Packers
TV
had almost 12 fucking primetime games out of 17. When you broke down the fucking schedule, when it came down to Thursday games and fucking holiday games and Monday night,
Wasn't
Sunday
it
night
last-
fuck games, it was
wasn't
like
it last
12
year?
fucking games last year.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
last year. Yeah.
So I don't want to hear nothing about what the fuck you putting the
Out
goddamn.
of the 2 primetime games, the Bucks and the
Think
Chiefs.
about it. The
makes-
Cowboys won.
I get the Bucks and the Chiefs. I give you that. Again, it's cool. It might be exciting, but I'm
This-
not expecting
it's a-
excitement out of the Colts and the Vikings.
Yeah.
At least I'm not.
No.
And this is the thing. I am gonna enjoy
because the fucking
watching
game's
the
on
both of
Fox.
y'all.
It's 'cause the
I'm
game's
going
on
to
Fox.
enjoy
No, that's
watching
fine.
the Lions. I'm gonna put the Lions over there on the
That's
TV,
fucking stupid.
over there at a distance,
I
because I'm
thought
gonna
this
watch
was-
my Bears lose to Arizona on right in front of me.
Oh,
But-
that's all right. You can watch them lose and then watch the Packers win.
They're both at 3 o'clock, so
Well,
that's why it's gonna be at the TV over there at the distance.
You're a dedicated fan.
But it's gonna be great to see both of y'all beat the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah, no,
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it should be.
But
It's so,
there's no way you're gonna tell me that game's not gonna be a bigger game than the Colts and the Vikings.
I thought this was an entertainment business. Your job is to entertain, not
that ain't it.
not to please media stations.
And just think about it. In a week, they got, or 2 weeks, they got fucking Giants at the fucking Panthers in Germany
But that's
as a
8 o'clock
primetime game.
Nobody cares about that. People are still going to be sleeping that
Nobody
game's
cares
playing.
about that.
That's still trash. That's the NFL sucks.
But yeah, they're getting rid of the
If
trash.
and there's another thing too, right? Like you're this big fucking market, and you're
trying
like,
to be a
let's
global market, an
let's-
international market.
let's tap into the global market. All right. Who do we send? Yeah, let's send the
Two worst
Giants
teams
and
in the
fucking Panthers.
Yeah, two of the worst
teams.
teams last year. Yeah,
What
two of the worst teams this year. I don't know. I think for me,
Sunday night
obviously-
football was boring. Monday night
Boring as
football
shit.
this last week was boring.
yep.
Monday.
I
night
think for
football.
me,
And I don't
The
like seeing old
Washington-
people get their ass kicked.
Not old.
yeah.
Done seeing Aaron Rodgers get his
That's
ass
funny.
kicked.
So I'm not getting tired of him getting his ass beat.
We'll
I am enjoying it every week.
Chaos, what were you going to end there with? I'm sorry, buddy.
No, I was gonna say the Washington and Giants game isn't interesting for anybody except people in the NFC East. Just because if by some miracle the Giants beat the Redskins, the Commanders, the Phillies.
I wouldn't even say a
first place.
miracle. I would say that's that's a possibility if Jaden Daniels
I think
is
so.
100% healthy.
Honestly, I'd be
Because
worried
the
about
Giants'
this.
defense, as far
That's a
as the
trap
front
game.
line, is
The
not that terrible.
Jaguars. The Jaguars.
You have to. They're getting ready. So Dexter Lawrence leads the league in sacks at 9. They're getting Kayvon Thibodeau back, and Brian Burns is playing his ass off.
Their
Their
defense
defensive
is
front
legit.
is not
The
that
defense
bad.
is legit. Yeah.
And,
they get
and
pressure on the
Washington's, Washington's offensive line is not good. They're not great.
No.
So I think you really could. The Giants defensively could keep this because I think the Giants defense is better than the Bears defense, and the Bears kept them from scoring.
What the fuck did you just say?
Bro,
What
let's
the
be
fuck
real.
did you just say?
You heard me.
What the fuck did you just say?
Who's your team? Who's your leader in
Say
sacks
that
on your
shit
team?
one more time,
Well, with
please.
that,
Did you just say what I think you just said?
All right.
That the Giants defense is better than the Bears defense. Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna bring some shit back just to throw it in your face because I know you didn't mean that. But hey, whatever. Brock Purdy's better than
Okay, let me caveat that and say
starting an hour argument now.
let me caveat that and say maybe not the whole defense, but the defensive line of the Giants is better than the defensive line of the Bears. That's for sure.
better than Nick Foles, motherfucker.
Hey, I think there's a legit chance that the Giants defense beat the Commanders this
You
week.
better be lucky to God that I got a pacemaker. Because,
Okay.
sir, my heart would have beat out of my chest coming to San Antonio, whooping your ass.
What are we walking into week 8, or did we
Week
just
9.
play week 8 and we're walking into week 9?
We just played
Walking
week 8,
into
going
9.
into week 9.
I love you guys. Week 9, here we go. Next week, we'll find out. We'll find out who had the better
Find out a
showing.
lot next week.
Do the Giants shut down to the Commanders?
Or the Bears beat the Cardinals and make a comeback.
I'm not worried about that.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
But for y'all two right now, the Bears just played the Commanders, and I think we should look at an over/under on punts. I believe the Bears made the
It was
Commanders
5
punt
last week, correct?
5. I believe 5
I
times.
think it was 5 times.
Okay, so the Giants
And they
need to
punted
make
4 times all season
I'm
before
gonna
they
say-
played us.
I'm going to say 4 for the
Yeah,
Redskins
but
this week.
so the Giants need to make the Commanders punt 6 times to be better than the Bears.
Sure. Well, yeah, 6 times.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Wow, I think
6
it's
is a
going to
lot.
happen.
The 6 possessions.
I think they're going to make them punt 7 times because the Bears are terrible.
Ooh, 7.
And I hope Jordan Love pulls his groin.
He already did that, so it's okay. He stretched
Holy
it out
shit,
already. You're good.
dude.
And I hope Josh Jacobs doesn't catch another ball.
He probably won't throw him another one. He'll just run it in, Charles.
Hey, at least we got Keenan Allen, right?
Yeah.
He bumped up the jersey sales.
Okay. I just got it.
Did you guys have anything else you wanted to touch on?
I just got one thing to say.
Oh, boy.
Hashtag go pack go.
Fuck Aaron
Oh
Rodgers.
shit.
Ends the show.
Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for commenting, your likes, your comments, your shares, your ability to care. The world continues to be a better place with you in it, and we love you more.